And we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh&Fit Podcast, man. It is Money Monday. We're going to be talking about how to run a rental car business, guys. Got something for y'all. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
And we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh&Fit Podcast, man. It is Monday, a.k.a. Money Monday, guys. Quick announcement before we get into the show, rumble.com/Fresh&Fit. As you guys know, that is the home base for us. If we ever get canceled, you know exactly where to find us, rumble.com/Fresh&Fit. Also, check us out on castleclub.tv, guys. That is where all the behind-the-scenes content is that you can't find anywhere else, whether it's us kicking out annoying-ass girls, giving you guys behind-the-scenes of what we're doing when we're foreign or traveling or whatever it may be. It's on castleclub.tv. If you guys want to go ahead and get involved in the show, check us out on fnfsuperchat.com or Rumble Rant in your questions, either or. I know some of you guys, it's difficult for you guys to Rumble Rant in, but we're live on all the platforms right now, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, etc. So make sure to check us out over there. And yeah, man, go ahead and get involved because this is going to be a good one. I actually got my notebook here. I'm going to be taking some notes because this is not my expertise, guys. So I'm going to turn this to Fresh and Jaden to talk about this mostly. And I think, oh, yeah, check me out on X, guys. Unplug Fit X. I post on there all the time. Yeah. That top tweet was hilarious. Okay, let's continue on. And then check out my other one. It's FedRex, guys. As you know, I break down criminal cases on here where I talk about different types of things. Yesterday I did Chris Dorner. The full episode is over on Rumble with the timestamps, guys. I had to obviously cut a portion of it because the documentary that we were using got hit with a, they suspended the stream. It's very lame. So, it's all on Rumble, rumble.com/FedRex. Check me out over there.
And guys, if you want to see our trips to the UK, Romania, and Vegas as well, check out the vlog channel. We did a bunch of stuff during those trips. Go check it out. And as well, guys, if you want more access to millionaires, people that are successful, Zoom calls and masterminds, join the CEO Network. We're actually doing a Zoom call with a special guest this week as well. I won't say who it is, but we had Andrew Tate on recently. We had Justin Waller, a bunch of creators on here as well. So go check it out. Real value in there. I'll see you guys in there. And also, any updates? Want to get to them? This week's guest or?
Oh, yeah, we got Rampage coming in on Friday. Guys. That's gonna be lit. Okay,
yeah.
We got
Rampage Jackson,
MMA champion,
legend.
aka a legend. He's gonna be here on Friday, and then we got Jake Shipp coming on Monday.
Punch!
So that's gonna be lit. Got some UFC legends coming through. Jake might bring a special guest with him. We'll see. He's very camera shy. We'll see if we can get him on to talk as well.
Yeah.
But we got some big things coming for y'all in the next week, man. So Rampage this Friday. Jake Shields on Monday, and then Wednesday. That's the 13th.
Yeah.
We got a debate with H3.
Yep. Isn't that crazy?
Yep. We're gonna debate H3 on the 13th.
We're opening new doors, man.
Yeah, and then that's gonna be on their channel.
Yeah.
Me and Ethan are gonna go at it. I guess he finally decided to not be so scared and have a discussion with me.
Yep.
And then on Friday we got another special guest coming, which I'll reveal that later on. But yeah,
some big W's.
Yeah, we got some big W's for y'all, man. For all the haters that keep saying, "Oh man, you guys are pretty good." So it'll be a good time.
But without further ado, welcome Jaden Bloom from Murci Luxury, brother. Welcome to the show.
Bro. Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
How are you guys?
Not bad, man. It's Money Monday, bro.
Let's get it.
Today's
Monday,
topic: car rental business. So tell us about your childhood, how you came up, how you got into the car space.
For sure. So, long story short, I'm from Vancouver, Canada, born and raised. My parents are from South Africa originally. They immigrated to Canada in 1994. I was born in 97. They came with nothing. My dad had $1,000 in his pocket when he came over there. Yeah. And I remember growing up, my dad was working 3 jobs at once, going to school. When I was 4 or 5 years old, I remember so vividly seeing all of that. Mm-hmm. So I saw him start from nothing, build, and he became very successful for himself. So from a young age, man, I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. I've been around it my whole life. Went to school, hated school, never did well, never got really good grades, went to college. I have an arts degree. I actually have a major in criminology. Kind of interesting.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So I was thinking about law school, and I've always been interested in, like, the criminal stuff. So I thought it was going to be kind of cool. But, yeah, man, I never really enjoyed school, and I just been around an entrepreneur my whole life. So I was like, yeah, I need to do something entrepreneurial. That's where my passion is. But I never knew what it was. So did all that.
So why Florida and why cars?
So Florida, I visited Miami in 2021 a little bit
Yeah.
and just absolutely loved it down here. The weather, how fast paced it is.
The girls.
The cars.
Yeah.
But I just fell in love with it, man. And I wanted, after COVID, Canada, I knew I needed to leave Canada. Canada just used to be such a good country. Our dollar used to be stronger than the US dollar at one point.
Bro, it's so bad now, bro.
It is terrible. COVID was kind of the tipping point for me. So COVID happened. I actually left Canada during COVID. I went down to Mexico for 2 months because it was fully open. Worked down there. I was just living down there. And just came to Miami and loved it down here. But cars, I've been a car guy my whole life. My dad's a big car guy too. So like the entrepreneurial side, I saw the car side. He never really had nice cars when I was, younger, but same as, his businesses getting better and better.
Yeah.
His cars started getting better and better. And just always been super fascinated around that. But yeah, just love cars my whole life. And
So we met a while back, actually from the valet downstairs, and he was talking about this company that does rentals. I'm like, who are these people? I see them everywhere on Instagram, always on TikTok, going viral. And he's like, yo, I'll give the intro. So they met Connor and you, and it was kind of like, you guys are killing it here in the game. But when did you get into that business and start Murci Luxury?
so I knew Miami was a really hot market for exotic car rentals. And if I'm being honest with you, this wasn't a business. I never thought this business was going to get to where it was now. Connor and I started as a side hustle. We had 2 cars. I had a BMW on a lease. That was my only personal car. He had a BMW. We said, you know what? Cars are hot in Miami. People are renting all the time. Let's throw them on Turo. Let's see what happens. And they were making good money. They're paying for themselves every single month. Turo was sending us clients. We weren't making a whole lot. Very hard to build a business on Turo.
Real quick, what is Turo for the audience that doesn't know?
So
What's
it's like a rental car platform. So you can list your personal car on Turo, and they provide their own insurance. They take a big cut, so they take 25% of your revenue. But they bring you clients. So it's kind of like Airbnb. You can post your car, people can scroll, they see your pricing, they want to book it, they book it. So
Can you tell us the upside and downside of using Turo instead of like at your own company?
for sure. So very hard to build your business on Turo. There's a lot of competition. It's very saturated. So prices you can get in the private market, you can't get on Turo. They're a lot cheaper. And then, like I said, yeah, Turo just has a lot of fees. They take a pretty high percentage. You can only pay credit card. They have age restrictions on certain cars. So Connor's M5, nobody could rent that under the age of 25.
Wow.
And 90% of our demographic was under the age of 25.
Right.
So it really killed a large part of our, potential clientele.
I think for any young guy that's coming up in the car scene, you start with a BMW. At least that's what we want to get to at least.
100%. They're easy cars to get into.
Yeah.
They have it's very, like for me, my first lease was a BMW, $0 down, and I pay like $900 a month for it. I was renting it on Turo for $200 a day, and I was going on 15 days a month.
Wow.
And just for the audience to understand, because Fresh, you didn't mention this, that you guys are actually business partners and you guys do the car rental stuff together.
Yes.
Just for the audience to understand, because they're probably trying to figure out, like, wait, what's going on here? So, yeah, Fresh and Jaden work together, guys, with their car rental business. Jaden started off, and then I think you brought Fresh on as a partner, if I'm not mistaken. Is that pretty much what happened?
Yeah, so
How it went down?
we connected in the valet,
Okay.
and Fresh has his Cullinan, and we just started kind of pushing that.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, he kind of saw the potential of the business. He kind of saw the people that I was able to meet on a daily basis just from this business alone. I mean,
the networking is incredible.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like I'm into like obviously going to events, making connections, but having the cars as an asset towards meeting people is key because listen, you meet celebrities, you meet people that are business people that are from out of state, come into Florida, they want to have a nice car to drive around, and they're very well educated too as well. So it's like you meet a variety of people from cars alone.
100%. My whole network down here is pretty much from Murci Luxury. I mean, Floyd Mayweather got invited to his private party over the weekend.
It was fun, by the way.
I know, I should have gone.
Yeah.
But that is somebody I would have never been able to get in touch with or in contact with without the cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
He
so
goes to you guys for rentals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's rented your car a few times.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
Lunai,
Lunai, that's like one of my boys now. He messages me almost on a daily basis.
legendary.
Huge artist in the Hispanic scene.
Yeah.
Millions.
Reggaeton, right?
Yeah, 11 million on Instagram. Like girls love him. Like songs with Bad Bunny.
I
Daddy
had no idea how
Yankee.
big it was until Mr. Jones. It was flooded with girls, bro. I'm like, all right, this guy's a reggaeton artist. Obviously, we got girls, but like the extent of girls that were there, it was incredible.
Incredible.
The whole tables were full of girls, bro. Every single table.
Oh, and they're going
That's
crazy.
when it's a W.
Yeah, bro.
Lining up,
Yeah.
waiting to get a picture with him.
Yeah.
But like just because I gave him a car for a day, instantly plugged in with him, tapped in with him. That's why I got Floyd Mayweather. A lot like Richie, his manager, literally knows everybody. He'll send us whoever we want,
Yeah.
and we'll tell them, hey, bro, can you set this up? We'll give him a car for free, and he makes it happen. So I mean, just the cars alone. Because before I came to Miami, I had no personal brand really.
Yeah.
People didn't know who I was, but the cars have really given me an insane personal brand in such a short amount of time that I didn't even see coming.
Interesting.
I think for a regular person, if you can get access to these cars, even for example, you're getting a loan or having a business itself, that doors that opens up for you is incredible, bro. I'm telling you, it's amazing. So, question for you, Jaden. In terms of like rental companies, what's the upsides and downsides of this business? For example, the benefits and downsides.
For sure. So obviously, one of the benefits we touched on, the networking is by far number one for me. I personally think this is a business I'm always going to keep around because of the people I get to meet and have access to. Obviously, the upside, the cash flow is incredible. You know, we've really perfected our business model where now we don't really buy cars ourselves. We just get investors to either give us cars or purchase cars for us. And people think that's extremely hard to do. It's the easiest part of the business. People every single day are messaging me, hey, bro, I have these Urus. I'm paying $4,000 a month. Can you guys rent it out for me? Hey, bro, I'm saving a bit of capital. I'm interested in getting a vehicle. What do you guys need? I had an NBA player hit me up the other day. He played in the NBA. He's playing in Tel Aviv right now. But exact same thing. He said, bro, I've been watching you for a little bit. I've seen you blow up. I'm ready to get you a car. So I think he's going to get us an S580 Maybach. We're working on that right now. But people all the time are asking me what cars we need. And I'm actually closing the doors for investors because we have too many
cars now at this point.
We're at about 35 cars. And I would say like 23, 24 stay here at the SLS with us.
Okay.
So people will just be like, here's my car, send me money every month, and that's it.
And bro, you're being humble, man. I would say right now, Murci's like the top luxury rental car business in Miami. 100%.
I think so too.
That's known.
Yeah, I think,
marketing-wise.
For sure. We're definitely up there with MPH Club and MVP. I think we have more cars than them. We're definitely doing the same numbers revenue-wise. And I'm working on a car this week. Hopefully it's coming this week or next week. That's just going to, we're just going to take over with this car. So we're going to be the first ones in.
You don't want to say what it is?
Nah, I don't want to jinx it.
Let's say it's a very special Lamborghini.
Let's just say it's a Lambo the Fresh used to have.
Yeah.
So if you guys can put that together,
SVJ
you guys
or something probably.
SVJ.
SVJ, yeah.
So there's only one company in the U.S. that had one, Royalty Exotics.
Shout out to Houston, by the way.
Huge YouTuber, has like 1 million subs.
Yeah.
They are the only company in the United States that had an SVJ, and the marketing alone behind with that car is just incredible.
Okay.
And that's kind of where I was touching on with the investors. An investor's purchased that car for us, $630,000, and he's gonna put like $150 down and just boom, rentals.
But that speaks to the faith of and the belief behind the company, because if that type of money is going into cars alone, the revenue share is amazing. Cash flow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He already has 2 cars with us that are doing really, really well. So he's not even concerned about getting a car of that extent because he's already seeing he has 2 cars worth about $400,000. They're out every single day. So for him, it's like, you know what? I already know these 2 cars are doing well. I know this car's going to do well. It's, there's no risk. And insurance is always covered when the cars go out. So there's really no risk to these cars. Obviously, if something happens to a car like that, it sucks. It's going to depreciate if it hits the Carfax. But we make up for that on the insurance side of things.
Yeah.
So we hit the insurance for depreciation, for loss of use because it's a rental, all these different things. And we ask the company prior to make sure that the client's coverage is covered on all of those 3 things.
So you said when you started out you had 2 BMWs. What kind of BMWs were they?
It was an M2 competition and an M5 competition.
M5. And the M5 you said people couldn't rent it unless they were 25.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. That was on Turo, right? Because Turo had these because I wrote down some of the stuff. You said it's hard to profit, right? Because there's high fees, and then there's a bunch of stupid rules that get in the way, and then what else? And you said it's hard to build a business,
hard to grow,
right? In general, because it's saturated.
Exactly.
With a bunch of people.
Exactly.
So the best way to go now, because I remember Turo was like a huge thing in like 2020. Everyone and their mom was putting their car on Turo and making a bunch of money, but I guess they buckled down on that and they started like charging more money, 25%.
So
exactly.
I had a friend actually that made a massive business on Turo, right? He did, I think, he billed in like 5 months. The problem was support. So he had an issue with the app not taking payments anymore, and he called support. Bro, it took him 2 months to respond to him, and he lost his business. Think about it. You're making money daily from the app. They can't pay you anymore. What do? You're screwed.
Why couldn't they pay him?
Some issue with the programming or whatever for his.
And it has to be, you said, credit card on there?
Yeah, it's the only way to pay is credit card.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of our clients now, they'll send us Zells, Cash App, Cash, all sorts of different payment,
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are a lot more flexible in how you accept payments as well. Which
Way more
makes it
flexible. Way more flexible.
Interesting. So if someone, so I see that you guys are niched in the luxury car area, exotic cars, luxury cars, because you could charge a way top dollar, right? And
exactly.
And assuming since you guys charge so much per day, they probably only keep it for a few days at most, right?
Exactly.
Right?
And all they want to do is flex. So they're not even putting a lot of miles on these cars as well.
Yeah.
They're
driving in this local area.
Exactly. And I hate it's the Miami culture. They want to go pull up to Poppy Steak Valet.
Let's be honest,
pull some bad bitches, and then
they get the car. They pull it to, let's say, even Gecko. They pull it Sexy Fish.
Yeah.
Park there, go to the club, and go back home. That's pretty much it, bro.
Yeah.
That's it.
So very low risk for you guys.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting.
But to be honest, when I first started this business, like every business, right? You go through the headaches, you go through the ups and downs to really perfect your systems. So when we first started blowing up in the summer, the summer months are a little slow down here, so we're getting a lot of local clientele. And down here, the local clientele are the guys that are going to cause the most issues.
Yeah.
So we were getting guys renting Ursus for 2 days, putting 700 miles on the car. I mean, I'll be transparent. I had 2 situations where I had to, because we have kill switches in all of our cars.
Oh, shit,
I had to kill the engine and go pick the car up because I thought something shady was going on. And you learn all these things, right? You get your feet wet. The only way to learn is through experience, I personally think. So we experienced all of that. We learned, and now we only have very solid clientele, like high-end, like black AMX kind of clientele, which is awesome.
So you guys are not renting out cars to just anybody anymore?
No, we do like thorough background checks. We really make sure, even if somebody has like a criminal history from years ago, we won't rent to them. It's just not worth the headaches.
Like I had a guy that's pretty famous that wanted a car, and they told him no because things weren't in order. He had no insurance.
And that's another thing. A lot of people do no insurance down here. No insurance, no
deposit. Does the rental
deposit.
company have insurance or?
No.
So they need their own insurance.
Yeah, so the way it works in here, which is how everybody does it, is it's super hard to get commercial fleet insurance for exotic cars. That is another issue with Turo, is I personally can't list a car for $75,000 in value. They won't accept it.
Oh.
Their insurance company that's on board with them won't cover any car for $75K. So that's another thing I wanted to say. Turo is great if you have one or two cars, like a Tesla Model 3, lower end cars that you're not using and you just want to make a little bit extra on the side on top of your current income. Turo is great for that. But if you want to build an actual business, like an actual fleet, an actual rental car company, Turo is not the place you want to do that on. It's just too difficult, and you will not make good money, and you will not scale
Profit
that quickly.
margins are low, too many rules, saturated. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
And then you can't use higher end cars, which are the ones that you're able to demand the most top dollar for.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this then. So if someone, because obviously people are watching this right now and they're like, well, damn, this is great for you guys, but I don't got fucking 5 Lamborghinis that I can rent out to Floyd Mayweather and his friends. If someone wanted to get started, right, and they wanted to maybe rent some of the cars that they have, maybe they have an extra Jeep in the house somewhere, maybe they got a Jeep Compass and Mercedes C-Class, like these more entry-level luxury or regular type cars, and they wanted to kind of do this as a side hustle, how would they go about it?
So obviously what I recommend is start on Turo, because that's going to give you the best experience in terms of like what goes into renting a car from A to Z. The goal is to get off Turo as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So you want to get your feet wet on Turo, kind of learn the business, because the business off Turo is very similar, right? Clients will either pick the car up, you'll go deliver, you'll make sure the car is good, you do their inspections. Something that Turo does, which is really good for people starting out, is they make you take like 30 photos of the car and they make you post it on the app.
Okay.
So it kind of teaches you, okay, what to look for in your before photos and after photos, because if you don't do your inspection properly and something happens on a rental, there's no way you can charge the client because you have no prior proof.
About prior examples where people picked up cars, but then when you brought them back, they were like actually like damaged.
Yeah, I've had some of my guys, because I have a full team now. My business is pretty much automated. I don't do anything but work with investors, marketing, grow the business. The day-to-day operations are completely automated. I have a full team that handles that. And sometimes my guys will miss, pictures, like something will happen, something so small, but there's no documentation. We got to come out of pocket, and it's a huge issue. And it happens sometimes, for sure. Like Cullinan came back. It was my other guys. I have a gray Cullinan. Came back with scratches all on the front by the grill, on the wrap. And to redo that wrap is going to cost at least $2,500. And he didn't think to like document up top, on top of the wrap, because most of the damage that happens to these cars are rims. Rims are basically the only thing that really happens. Rim scuffs. Yeah. And if something like a fender bender were to happen, we just hit the insurance, because the deposit wouldn't be able to cover that. But so I guess he kind of missed taking a video up top, and then we had to come out of pocket and fix the wrap.
So I would wager it's like a checklist you got to follow
for
each car, so you get the best out of getting the car back.
Exactly, because the last thing you want to do is having to come out of pocket on something that.
So Turo kind of holds your hand and tells you where to take these photos specifically to avoid these issues.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's a great way to, I guess, get the training wheels in and like figure out how to go about this from the beginning. But you're saying, what would you say people should? How long should they stay on Turo before they say, you know what, it's time to transition out of there?
I'd say once you get above 2-3 cars, try and get off. Okay. Especially if you have the goal of scaling and getting more cars.
Okay. So 2 to 3, get off there.
Exactly. And one thing we were doing to try and get off Turo is everybody that would rent from us, we would hit them privately and say, hey, just letting you know, we can rent to you privately. We're growing our private rental car company. We're going to, you get hit with fees, we get hit with fees. We can eliminate all those fees. There's no age restrictions, et cetera, et cetera.
You get a better price.
Better price. Yeah. Exactly. And we can charge a little bit more, and still it's going to be cheaper than Turo.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of it as well.
So, okay. And then the other thing you mentioned as well with Turo, with the benefits is like they kind of handle the marketing for you, because you're able to advertise your car in their marketplace, which obviously has a lot of eyeballs. But what you're able to do is convert those people over to your private side.
Exactly. The nice thing with Turo too is obviously every rental, people will give it a 5-star review, right?
Yeah.
So the more reviews you have, the higher they push it to the top. So the more people that rent, the more better reviews you have. You're just going to be sitting at the top all day, and people are going to rent from you all day.
Is it possible to have your Turo profile still active with your 2 or 3 best cars there, while simultaneously still running your business on the side, and I guess drawing people from Turo over to your private business, so that you kind of get this influx of people always coming in because you're getting fresh clients?
100%. And we still do that. We have about 5-6 cars listed on Turo for the marketing purposes, for them to come off of Turo and rent from us privately. And it happens quite often.
But the problem is you don't depend on the app. If you depend on it solely and it messes up, you're screwed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So the goal is get in with Turo, get your feet wet, get your 2 to 3 cars in there. Once you expand past 3, create your obviously your side business, and then try to pull as many people off of Turo to your private business. Because the thing is that what I've noticed with car rental companies, kind of like with hotels and shit like that, if they come to you the first time and you give them a good experience, they're more than likely going to use you every single
100%.
time, bro. That, like,
And
people
they
don't want to
refer
go,
people to you as well.
Yes,
Exactly.
people don't like to go and try something new when it comes to hotels or whatever. When they go to a place that they've been before, they always go to the same people. So that would make sense that they would go and use you every time.
Mm-hmm. And also, here's the benefit too. Let's say we build a relationship, right, between myself and the company that rents me cars. Well, guess what? Let's say I want a car that's maybe higher price. Hey, bro, we're people. We work together all the time. Give me a discount. You might get a discount. You might get extra cars, whatever it may be. But that's the relationship you build with that person and the company.
So let me ask you this then, because obviously you guys are doing this at a way higher level with the luxury stuff. But for the regular people that are watching this, they're going to want to know this. What are some good entry level cars that people can start with that, you know, might not necessarily be luxury, but they're able to appeal to a wide array of different people that might want to rent from them?
For sure.
Very good.
So I think perfect entry-level car is like a C63S.
Yeah.
You get a 2019.
yeah, okay.
Could you bring on a screen
great
real
car.
quick, Bills?
Yeah, let's pull it up on
the
screen for
screen?
people.
What car that is?
Great car. You can get into it super easily. I mean, they're like anywhere from 45 to 60K right now.
Mercedes,
Convertible
right?
or,
C6
or coupe, you think?
Convertible.
Convertible.
Mercedes C.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's still such a nice car. That car brand new goes for like $130,000. You know, something I actually threw this reel up yesterday. It's actually kind of popping off right now.
Yeah.
Coupe. Mercedes C class. C63.
Convertible.
Convertible. Okay.
I've been telling people look for cars that have already depreciated 70-80% because any maintenance that's going to come for that car isn't going to be the same as like buying a brand new car and it depreciating 50K. You might put 5-10K in maintenance into an older car, but you're going to lose 40-50K on a newer car, if that makes sense.
I can see why this would be a really good entry level car.
Yeah, and we actually have one in the fleet.
Okay.
So payment on that's like $1,000 a month, and that car goes out for $350-$400 a day. So you're talking 3 days and you're in the green. Imagine 15 days on that car.
Yeah.
So the car pays for itself and extra income.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So and I can see why people would want it because it still has that nice luxury look. It's still, you know, sleek, especially if you get a certain colorway maybe.
Exactly.
Actually, we had a student in my network that got an Aston Martin that's doing pretty well too as well. Same, it's below 100K.
Below 100K.
It's a really good car. James Bond, by the way.
An Aston Martin under $100,000.
Yes.
Wow.
That's also kind of a little bit of a hack right now is they depreciated.
That's a gem, bro. It's a gem.
I know, that's free game.
You tell them.
The audience might not even know that. Like, yeah, you guys know that you could get an Aston Martin for under $100,000.
Aston Martin Vantage is one of the best, I think, entry-level cars for anybody.
It's a $200,000 car, brand new. And speaking about Aston Martin Vantages, we're actually giving away an Aston Martin Vantage right now.
Yes, we are actually. So, funny story. I met these guys a couple months ago. I seen their business model. I seen how they operate. Very honest guys with integrity. And I was like, yo, bro, how do we get back to people that support us? You know, Fresh&Fit, Murci Luxury. And we decided to do a giveaway of one of our cars. So there's a clip actually we could play, if you don't mind, Bills, on the page whenever you're ready. Okay, it's the reel. Yeah, the reel, yeah.
Shit, man. Yeah,
So-
I was shocked when you told me that you can get an Aston Martin for under $100,000. I'm over here thinking like that's a $300,000
You'd be
car.
surprised-
James Bond, like you can't get one of these. Like
You'd be surprised how many cars look expensive, but are really not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. I was loading real quick. Fresh&Fit podcast, today we're giving away an Aston Martin Vantage. That's right. Guys, it's simple. You get a trip to Miami, you get a free car, and as well, 10K in your pocket. Simple to enter, guys. $2. Link below. So you guys in there. Peace. You can stop it there.
It's an issue, so we'll see.
Let's see.
Let's see if we're back.
Wow.
All right, I think we're back now. Cool.
Oh, wait. We're on the after hours template though, but it's okay. Just run with the after hours template.
Yeah, you can't fix it.
I could try.
Yeah, see if you can.
Okay.
All right, yeah, guys.
we're
I
back.
think we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the hell happened there.
That was so weird.
That was weird. But yeah, it was right after the. So yeah, it was a raffle that you guys got going. It's $2 for them to join.
Yeah.
If they want to.
And link down below.
Yeah, if you guys want to.
But yeah, so we're talking about entry-level cars for people that
Yes,
want to
we're
get
talking.
into
Yeah,
business.
yeah. So you mentioned the Mercedes C63.
C63, C8's a great car too.
The what?
The Corvette.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can get like a 1LT, which is a really solid car for like
Yeah, okay.
45, 50 grand.
Mhm.
That's a really hot car down here. In any market really, it's like everybody calls it a poor man's Ferrari. It's such a beautiful car for such a low ticket.
A lot of people like Corvettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
A
lot.
American muscle and everything else like that. So, okay. So you would say, hey, if you want to start entry level Corvette, Mercedes C. What if maybe they live in a more blue collar area? People don't want to be as flashy. What are some cars that they can get that?
So cars that are always solid too are like Suburbans, Escalades. So I have a few students right now that live in like seasonal areas,
Yeah.
Boston, Chicago,
New York City. Yeah.
New York City, and
Yeah.
cars that I'm telling them to go for as their first and second cars are exactly that: Escalades, Suburbans, Tahoes, because those cars are going to go out in the winter and the summer.
Yep.
They're not seasonal dependent.
Yeah.
Whereas something like a C8, any sports car is going to be seasonal dependent. That's
Yeah,
why
for
the
sure.
Lambos, the Ferraris do so well in Miami, is because you can drive them 12 months a year.
Yeah.
You know, and people come here with money to spend all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we also mention about getting new cars and why you shouldn't buy a new car? You made a video about that as well.
I did. It's actually
And I
popping off
agree.
right now a little bit. But basically, what I was saying is, when you buy new cars, it's going to depreciate no matter what, right? You buy a car at 0 miles, even with 800 miles, it's
Oh my God.
depreciating, you know?
Yeah.
So when you buy a car that's already depreciated a lot, you're basically buying it almost at the end of its depreciation cycle. So the only thing you got to worry about is maintenance. But even then, if you have a good mechanic and you're not taking the car to the dealer, because dealer's always going to rinse you.
Yeah.
If you have a good mechanic, everything's going to be super cheap.
Okay. And I'm assuming you already have a mechanic in house.
Everything.
Right. So would it be fair to say that once you get your 2 to 3 cars and you're making some money, you probably want a mechanic on the payroll immediately? That's the first thing you should get?
On the payroll, or just a really solid relationship with a good
Okay.
mechanic.
Someone that you can go to.
Can we
that-
go through the actual checklist for getting a car? Like, for example, trackers, insurance check.
For sure. So I'll give you an example. Right? When an investor gives us a car, first thing we do is get trackers on that car. So we usually put 2 GPS trackers and an engine kill switch.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've only had to use the kill switch maybe 2-3 times. For nothing's really ever happened. Just I thought something shady was going on, so I used it.
You thought
But
they were going to steal the car or something? Or?
exactly, I kind of got like an inside scoop and that something was going on. So I just
Where was it at when you killed it?
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, was it supposed to be up there or like?
It was, but I mean, yeah, there's a lot of sketchy areas out there too in
Yeah,
Fort
for sure.
Lauderdale.
Yeah.
But there's been horror stories of people renting cars or renting out cars to people, and they drive to like Georgia or somewhere far away,
Oh.
and you never see that car
Pop
again.
Smoke did that shit.
There you go.
He drove it from like.
You see that?
Yeah, he went. Yeah,
shipped it
people don't
out.
know that he got indicted for that.
Yeah,
That's
he,
wow.
he
He
rented
passed away.
a Wraith for a music video, and he shipped it from LA to New York.
Yeah. Yeah. he did some
Savagery,
crazy
bro.
Shit like that. Yeah.
Savage. But that's what we do. I mean, we do
That's
our
a nightmare for you guys.
we do our verification checks like from A to Z. Like we have every single piece of documentation necessary from that person. So if they did something like that, I mean, we have their driver's license, their everything,
Okay.
to really like go after them and make sure we get compensated.
Yeah.
Because people might be like, "Oh, bro, I got a car, bro. You're a friend. I'll give it to you, bro. You don't know what that person's gonna do, what they might be about."
So this is actually really important. So for some of you guys that want to start this, so when you acquire a new car, right? And you're like, you know what, I want to start this. Even if you put it on Turo or whatever it may be, do they need to do this even if they're on Turo, or do you suggest that they do this?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
So
they
this-
should do it even on Turo.
Okay.
Just to be safe.
Yeah. So
Wanna
does
get-
Turo require you to do this? Put
No.
these things
No.
in. Okay.
But you should for your own safety.
Okay. So you said 2 trackers, a kill switch. What else?
That's pretty much it.
Those
Yeah.
2 things. Okay.
And it runs you about $1,000 for that.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty much your only startup
That's
cost.
your upfront cost.
Okay.
Yeah.
To throw it in the car. Any certain brands that they should get as far as like trackers or a certain kill switch that
So
they should get?
if they're local in Miami, I use iTrack. iTrack's the best. They're based out in Hollywood.
Shout out
Okay.
to Luis.
Yeah, Luis. He's
Awesome
done
guy.
awesome guy. He's probably done over 40 cars of mine.
Yep.
Okay.
Made him a lot of money. But yeah, he's solid. The best trackers. He really installs them properly.
Okay.
So I've had a few instances where I could tell people were looking for the trackers
Ah.
and they couldn't find them.
Oh, and he's putting 2 of them. So if they find one, there's another one.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh shit. And then the kill switch. And it costs, you said, about $1,000 to get this all done.
About $1,000.
Okay. And iTrack, I'm assuming they put the kill switch in there too.
They do.
They do all of it.
Yeah, so they have different levels. Level 2 comes with two trackers and a kill switch. Level 1 is just like a tracker.
Okay.
But they have all the way up to level 5. So depending on what your risk tolerance is, like I've been doing this for so long and I know I have such good clientele that I don't feel like I need to do a level 5
Okay.
or level 4. I'm good with the level 2. But if you're just starting out and you're building your clientele and you have no prior experience, definitely get a level 4,
Or if
level
you're in
5.
a high
'Cause-
crime area, maybe you're in Detroit. Would it be better for you to get like a
Exactly. That's a good point too. If you're in a
Look at-
higher crime area, for sure.
Look at the point of view of the actual renter. Okay, this guy's green. He doesn't know too much about business. All right, bet this is a Rolls Royce or a Mercedes. Oh, I could take this car and just dip. They would if they could.
Yeah,
Free car.
it's crazy. Some of my competitors, I'm not going to name them, but I've heard of them doing like insane verifications. One of the big guys out here, what they'll do is they have a showroom, so they get a lot of walk-ins.
Mhm.
They will judge people based on if their fingernails are clean or dirty. And if their fingernails are dirty, they won't rent to them.
Yeah.
It's actually good. Hey, man, I agree with that, bro.
You know why?
Because people that got dirty fingernails, they be doing some bullshit a lot of
And
times.
they won't take care of the car.
Yeah.
They don't take care of themselves. Why would they take care of the car?
Yeah.
So, I mean, people
point.
do like, they go to like extreme extents to really verify
And
their
there's a
clients.
scam where girls come in to rent a car. Now, obviously speaking, if a girl's coming in to rent a car, she wants maybe like a Porsche or something like chill. But to get a Lamborghini for yourself, it's like,
Red
why,
flag, right?
yeah, it's like, why are you doing it by yourself for a Lamborghini?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a Ferrari is like, huh?
Yeah.
You know about cars?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, when females rent, it's a little bit of a red flag because I would say 50% of the time they're renting for their boyfriend who doesn't have insurance.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you
Or
gotta be
dude,
careful.
or a PIMP
Yep.
saying, yo, go get this car for me. And then
Okay.
they run off to Georgia, and before you know it, your car's gone. That's why you
Really?
need trackers all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, my guy, Lewis, who works for me, he had to go get a car from Atlanta one time because they drove it all the way to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And he had to fly there and get that car back. Not one of my cars. He's been doing this for years.
Yeah.
He's been doing this for 7-8 years. It was the other guy he was working for. But yeah, has some crazy stories pulling up to people at warehouses, 20 stolen cars in that warehouse, including one of his. They all
Wow.
have guns, like crazy stuff.
So, okay. So we talked about once you procure the car, how to set it up for rental. How about getting the car in the first place? Should people go the financing route? Should they go the leasing route? How should they go about getting the car in the first place?
For sure. So financing is awesome because you're going to build your credit. You're going to build your history with the bank. That's what I would recommend. There's a lot of leasing companies that will give you cars for very little down, great terms and everything. They're going to be a little bit more strict when it comes to rentals, so you have to be more careful.
Mhm.
Obviously you don't disclose that you're going to rent it, right?
No.
Yeah.
No,
You
even
just
in
procure the car and get the fuck out of
even
here.
in the contracts, it states, if this car is advertised for rent, gone. So we actually ran. So this is another reason why I started working with investors. We were buying cars ourselves for
Yeah.
the first 5-6 months because I had to build proof of concept. Nobody's just going to give me a Lamborghini to rent out.
Of course.
And we bought a Urus, $65,000 down. Bank found out we were renting the car, and they came to the SLS with a repo order.
What?
And they came here with a repo order. They said, hey, first they were being weird about it. They're like, we work for Murci Luxury. I'm here to change a tire. And Arturo downstairs, who runs the valet, called me and said, hey, there's a guy here says he works for Murci. I thought somebody was trying to steal our car.
Yeah.
I thought it was a client or somebody that heard of us, being situated out here was trying to steal one of our Uruses. So I said, don't give him the car. And then he finally showed the repo order. And I said, do not give him the car. So
Shit.
he left because he couldn't get up to the garage. Called the dealer that we worked with. I said, hey, what's going on? This is a situation. They're like, oh, you guys are good. Don't worry. I'm going to talk to them on Monday. I'm going to tell them everything's good, etc. Monday comes around. We didn't rent that car for the weekend. The dealer calls the bank. Apparently, they lied. They said, oh, yeah, everything's good. Don't worry. Called us. Oh, you guys are good. Rent the car. Car goes out on a rental. Guy's eating lunch in South Beach. Tow truck comes, takes the car.
Oh shit! They had that bitch under surveillance, probably.
Yep.
Wow.
So that's an issue. Even myself now, because of my name, the name that I have in this business,
Yeah.
bank looks into me. They're going to see rentals everywhere. My Instagram, my everything,
Yeah, of
right?
course,
And they
of
do
course.
their due diligence.
Of course.
It's always, the small leasing companies always do the due diligence. The bigger banks, not too much. But it's like leasing companies are so good to work with because they'll approve you for anything. You could have 5 cars with them. Like Fresh has such a good relationship with one of the companies that he works with that they'll approve him for anything, whenever.
Okay.
Whereas traditional banks, it's a lot harder. It's so credit dependent,
Uh-huh.
and depending on what your debt to income ratio is, that matters a lot too. With these leasing companies, it doesn't matter. It's all relationship based.
Okay. So to get your business off the ground, it might be easier to go the leasing route. Because if you go the financing route, they could always come back and, I mean, would you? Are there some banks that allow you to rent it, or do
I
most of
think
them
it
say
depends on
no?
the person and what they can actually qualify for. That's going to determine
But
because
are any banks going to be okay?
So-
Realistically speaking, are any banks going to be okay with you renting it out?
Yeah, like the bigger banks, if you get a loan from Chase, for example, they
Yeah.
have so many loans that they're not going to look into. They're not going to keep on
Okay.
top of it. Leasing companies put trackers in the cars. So the cars a lot of times can't leave the state of Florida. They really watch these cars because they only have 250 cars out on the road. It's very
Yeah.
easy for them to monitor every single car.
Yeah.
So you just got to you got to be careful. We have a lot of cars with leasing companies,
Yeah.
and we just don't post the license plates. We don't post the VIN. We don't correlate that car with rentals whatsoever. A lot of times we'll wrap the car, we'll change the color.
Okay.
So all of those things really helped us.
Even on a lease.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, we have a lot of cars with leases,
Okay.
and we kind of know how to navigate around it, and we've never had an issue since.
Okay. So leases are way more flexible if you want to get into this. If you're procuring a car strictly for this business, I guess,
For sure.
versus financing. Well, that makes sense. The bank is going to come in and be like, yo, what the fuck? You're renting this thing out. We're going to, because that's their money.
Exactly, and the leasing company too.
Okay.
So you just got to be
So
a
we
little bit careful.
Trackers. We got insurance checks. We got walk around of the car. Anything else you need to do at the very beginning?
Criminal background check,
Oh, that too.
for sure.
How should they go about doing that? Because obviously, right, you're not going to have access like NCIC and run a real criminal background check like the police do, unless you have some connect.
There's some great like public databases that you can pay monthly subscription for
Yeah.
that will give you that person's history from like years ago. I can't remember what the name is on the top of my head, but there's one we pay like $30 a month for,
Okay.
and it pulls up every piece of information on that person that you can imagine.
Okay.
And it's really saved us from rentals. I mean, I've had people try and rent a Cullinan with Grand Theft Auto from a year ago for $200,000.
Oh shit.
You know,
Okay.
like crazy stuff.
What are some non-starters that like if you see? I mean, obviously Grand Theft Auto. That's a
Any, like,
no-brainer. but-
Grand Theft Auto, 100%. Any like burglary, robbery,
Okay. Anything with theft.
anything
larceny,
with theft.
You guys are like no. Okay.
Exactly.
Violent crimes?
It depends. If it's from years ago,
Yeah.
then it'll be okay. Like we still rent. We've had people that fleeing from the police,
Yeah.
driving without a driver's license,
Yeah.
stuff like that. If it's from years ago, we kind of let it slide.
Yeah.
But even then, a lot of the times it's not even worth the risk.
Shit. Okay.
So you really got to like judge a situation, by situation. Because a lot of the times we work with a lot of brokers. That's kind of one of the secrets too. Is brokers send us a ton of clients. I mean, we're renting cars Monday to Sunday, like where people are sitting on their cars throughout the week because the week gets slow.
Yeah.
But we rent cars like crazy. And a lot of the times we'd be like, look, this guy has a bit of a history, but he's my boy. Like I vouch for him. He's good.
Okay.
And if we have a good relationship with that broker, we'll say, okay, we trust you.
'Cause
He's
brought
good.
other people to you probably that are fine. So
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, some people do like turn around, right? Like they did some criminal dumb shit when they were younger, and then they get older and they're like, oh, I changed a new leaf.
Exactly.
I got a business now. I'm an entrepreneur. I got shit to lose.
Exactly. People change, right? So from years ago, we let it slide. But if everything's kind of recent, they have all these charges from like 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 3 months ago. It's just a little.
And you
bit.
said your problematic clients are always the ones that are here from
always,
Miami,
Always.
not the people from out of state.
No, because they come, they fly in, they take the car out, they kind of just do the Miami experience, and
Yep.
then they leave.
2-3 days later.
They're not going to steal the car because they're not from here. They're not going to try any weird stuff, But the locals, it's like, why are you trying to rent a Cullinan on a Tuesday when nothing's happening?
Yeah.
It's a little weird,
Yeah.
right? You're going to go drop $3,000 for 2 days on a Cullinan just for the fun of it. It's a little weird, right?
Okay.
But it's the Miami culture. People just want to flex 24/7.
Interesting.
Sure. We got some chats here.
Yeah. So guys, if you got any questions, get them in. I mean, that was like a huge, 101 on car rentals.
The real talk. David. Hey FNF. Hey Jaden. It's me, David I'm from the mentorship. Finally, this collab is happening. Y'all changed my life to real. I'm 19 years old. Credit score went from 680 to 730. Thanks you guys. P.S. Fresh. When are you hopping on the call, man? I'd love to talk to you, bro.
$100.
Talk to you.
Let me ask you a question because I have a rule with my real estate and my tenants, right? So like typically, I want my tenants to be making $60,000 per year, bare minimum, and then now I want them to have like a 720 credit score or higher because I've realized no matter how much money they make, if they got under 700, they still do stupid shit and they're not responsible. They don't pay their rent on time. What are your requirements typically when you're dealing with a client? Let's assume that they didn't come to you from a broker and don't come with a good, with a verification. What are your requirements? What are the credit scores that you're looking for, and how much they earn per year?
When they come and rent from me?
Yeah.
So we don't really look into that, to be honest.
Okay.
For us, it's just about, do you have a criminal background?
Okay.
Do you have proper insurance?
Okay.
What cars are you driving? Like, we really look at the cars they're driving on a daily basis because sometimes we'll get a 2002 Honda Civic trying to rent a Cullinan, So we really look at
you look at the cars
policy.
that they have.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Because we want
Interesting.
also, a lot of these cars come with, you need driving experience. If you're jumping into a Huracan, it's a lot of power for somebody that's never experienced that kind of power.
Okay. So
You
you
know?
guys will actually look at the cars under their name.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some red flags that you'll say like, you know what? No, we're not gonna make this happen. Since you guys don't look into, or do you look into credit too, or no?
No.
Credit, income, not relevant too much.
No.
You look into what they have, and then where they're from, criminal
Exactly.
history, how long they're planning to get the car, what kind of car they're trying to take.
Exactly. Like a lot of the times we'll get clients that want to pay cash, $5,000 cash. And for us, it's like if they're paying, we don't really, it's not our job to figure out what they do for a living.
Yeah.
If they have the money and they're good on insurance, then we rent to them, you know?
Okay.
So we don't really look into credit score. We don't look into like what they do for a living and their income. It's just valid insurance, which is number one, and then criminal background.
And what type of insurance should they have? Like, will you guys take a liability only type of insurance, like the bare minimum shit that
So
most people have?
They need to have comprehensive and collision insurance.
Okay.
Yeah, they need to have full coverage, comprehensive collision, and that is kind of what we need for them to be able to rent from us, and they need to have rental coverage. So those are the three things.
Okay, so the regular liability that so
Wouldn't
many
work.
people have wouldn't work,
No.
especially with the cars that you're trying to get.
Exactly.
Now that you're renting out. What if like someone was a beginner? What should they also practice that as well, where they need full coverage? You would suggest?
100%. And these
Okay.
cars can have their own personal insurance on the car. They can have the bare minimum insurance. I had a guy, he never wanted to drive the car, threw the car in the fleet. He had storage insurance on the car. So he's paying like $100 a month for that car, insurance wise.
Mhm.
But because we don't use the owner's insurance, it doesn't matter. We always use the client's insurance. So if they're starting out their own rental car company, they can throw any type of insurance they want on that car personally, because the only time their personal insurance is going to be on the line is if they're driving that car themselves.
Gotcha. But if they don't, then it's on the person, which is why you require them to have insurance. It's got to be full coverage, not
Exactly.
liability only.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's better to have these cars in an LLC, because the one major risk that everybody always asks about is what if somebody dies in that car,
Mm.
right? If somebody gets into an accident and God forbid somebody on the other side dies, I mean, that family can sue the registered owner of that vehicle, and it's a huge issue, right? So if you're
Fuck.
personally on that car, that is a liability run versus an LLC where you're not going to be personally liable.
Shit. So step one,
That's
get
some
the car.
free game right
yeah,
there.
right there.
Yeah.
So step one, get the car. As soon as you get the car and you throw it on Turo, create an LLC and put that car under that LLC immediately.
Exactly.
That's smart.
And
And
then
also
make sure
build
that-
business credit.
They have insurance. Okay. Interesting.
And they
Alright.
can sign as a guarantor for their business, which is cool, and it'll still be in that LLC. So if anything does happen like that, obviously I'm talking about the most extreme cases in the
Yeah.
world, but that happened to one of my
DUIs and
buddies.
shit. It's more common than you think,
It
man.
happened to one of my buddies a
Car
couple years
accidents are
ago.
the number one killer of people.
Yeah, a couple years ago, this is the guy that kind of got me in the game. I just saw him crushing it, and I was always super interested. He had a group of 4 guys rent his S580 Maybach for a weekend. They went to 11. They got blackout at 11, decided to drive home at 5 a.m., and they wrapped the car around a pole. 3 out of the 4 died, and they tried to sue him personally, and it was a huge issue. He ended up winning because he had all of his contracts in place. He had everything showing they were speeding at 4 a.m., they're at 11, all these different things, right? Because he had
Yeah.
trackers, same trackers I used, he had in his car.
Mm.
So he was good on that end.
protected 'em.
But that's an extreme case, but you never want to be left, not knowing what to do in that situation if you ever get into that
I
situation.
think it's good to mention whenever you get a car to rent out, think about these things before you even do it. The precautions you have to take, because it is a lot of responsibility and you're liable for it if you're not careful.
For sure. And
So-
also, like I always wanted to build like an Airbnb business, or I was always interested in e-com. I wanted to build something that was like somewhat passive.
Yeah.
But for me, the cars, I always was just driven towards the cars. I've always loved cars my whole life, and I've always dreamt of being able to have access to multiple Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls Royces at any moment in time, and also make money from these cars. So this business truly,
It's a passion.
it's a passion, and it truly changed my life. I mean, Murci, we're doing 6 figures a month right now, pretty consistently.
Nice.
Over 35 cars, a lot of investors every day wanting to throw cars in the fleet.
So
We're
you
at
don't have
that
to worry
point.
about this repo bullshit because you have people that literally have their cars on the fleet
That's the
with you.
trick. See, that's
Yeah.
the trick right there. Because there's no way the bank can link John Doe with Murci Luxury when John Doe works a 9 to 5, does this and that. There's so many moving parts that when you get an investor on board, you're risk free from getting that car ever
Yeah.
repoed.
Wow.
And there's no
'cause a
liability.
layer.
I have no overhead. The monthly payments on them, the insurance is on them. All I do is rent the car, and I take 50%. 50-50 split. And a lot of these guys are in love with you if you can even just break even on their monthly payment.
Yeah.
If you can break even and they're not making any money on top, I mean, they're ecstatic, right?
Yeah.
Like a Urus, for example, runs about 4K a month.
Yep.
We make about 10 to 12K a month on average on a Urus.
Wow.
So I'm making 6K
Yep.
with no liability. They're making 6K, 2K profit, and they're ecstatic.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
you have a car that, let's say, you barely drive or you bought, you don't want anymore, but to get out the car is a lot of money. You can rent it out, make money from it, pay for itself, and chill. You can get another car.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't have to deal with the, because he handles all the rentals.
Yeah.
He has the
'Cause
clients and everything else.
The
so-
issue with buying cars, especially when you buy a brand new car, you're upside down in the car the moment you drive off the lot, which means you're going to buy the car, lose like 40, 50K, and then you keep losing money each and every single day. But if you rent it out, you're making money and more. So yeah, pretty
Interesting.
good model.
No, exactly. It's kind of like we're kind of showing people that you can actually get these cars for free.
Yeah.
You know, you can get a Lamborghini. Maybe you wouldn't be able to afford it if you're paying for it every single month. But with this model that we have, these cars literally pay for themselves every single month. Plus, put money in your pocket.
And the number one issue people have, wait, bro, what if the car gets totaled? Well, guess what? You get paid out for the value of the car.
Yep.
Get another one.
And if you really know, because we have attorneys that handle everything for us, we've only had to open like 3-4 claims, very small claims. But one of the claims we had to open was on a Urus. She damaged, one of the clients damaged the front end. She was fully covered, of course, so we went after her insurance. We paid $4K out of pocket to get the car fixed and back on the road the next day. And insurance ended up paying us $35K in 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy, bro.
See how profit at 31,000.
It takes time, but once you get the money.
Takes about 90 days.
Yeah.
But because we go after depreciation, we go after loss of use, we go after all these different things, and our attorneys handle everything for us from A to Z. They take 10%, but they handle everything. I mean, we always get top dollar on these claims. And if you know what you're doing when it comes to insurance, you can make more money on the insurance side than the actual rental revenue too. So there's really no liabilities when it comes to the rental game.
Of course.
Legally, of course.
Do it legally.
Yeah.
Don't-
I mean, you're getting
don't
the
fake
best
anything.
lawyers in it.
Yeah.
For sure. It's just people don't realize they can
That's
go
the thing
over
with these cars is that like you're able to claim that because
Yeah.
these cars
Exactly.
are so goddamn expensive.
Well, think about it, right? An accident
Lots.
on a Urus, you're losing 25K in value. You have to be compensated for that, right?
Yeah.
And people don't actually realize that you can go after that on the client's insurance. So that's kind of things we learned throughout
Because
just
these
being
luxury
in this
cars,
business.
it does like their value diminishes significantly if there's an accident. So
Significantly.
you're able to recoup that through the. Oh, I didn't know that.
Exactly.
Why do you think when someone hits a exotic car, they run? Because, nigga, if you get caught with that insurance hit, it's a lot, bro.
It's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot, bro.
Does that it happen? I mean, I don't have an exotic, but yeah, if they hit an exotic, they're running away from the
They
scene
gonna
most of the
try
time.
They're going to try to if they can,
They
bro.
probably would, yeah.
You better run.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I've never had a situation like that. But I mean, if you hit one of those exotics, it's scary because your insurance is gonna get hit like crazy. Your premiums are probably gonna triple.
They might drop you.
Oh, they'll probably drop you.
To
Yeah.
be honest with you, they might drop you off the insurance.
Yep.
So it's tough.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense because you're gonna pay a bunch of money for that.
All right. We
What
got
else?
some right here.
Oh.
Nav says, best way to purchase luxury or supercar, finance, lease, cash. We covered
We
that just
covered
now.
that, but
Mhm.
I mean, they're bringing up cash, used or new. What do you think?
So cash is always the best because then you're not gonna get hit with the interest, right? Because if you get a loan from the bank, let's just say it's 10% interest at even 60K, you're paying an extra 6K that you didn't have to if you bought that car cash,
Yeah.
and then you can do whatever you want because you own that car in full. So if
Okay.
you can afford to,
It's
always
better
best.
if you got a cash.
So cash is the best way to go. You
Yeah.
think?
best way to go if you're cool tying up that much capital.
Okay.
So obviously have a lot of cash that you don't mind tying up 50K. Don't tie up 60K if you have 70K in the bank.
And
Yeah.
if you purchase the right car, you could make that money back fairly quickly.
Exactly. Some of these cars are doing over 100% ROI.
Yep.
Okay.
Within a
I
year.
mean, I have heard the Mercedes C classes is a fantastic car.
Fantastic.
You know, Audi A4s, Mercedes C's, BMW 3 Series. Because they're like entry level luxury, but this is what a lot of people like.
Exactly. And those cars usually go up for like multi-day rentals. So you could rent a 3 Series BMW, maybe
For a
paying
week.
$400, $50 a day. You're
Yeah.
paying $300 a month. You have a couple of those, you're making 10K a month.
You know the best part about this business? You make money right now. You don't wait for it. It's not like, oh, I got to wait a month. It's like, no, right there and then you get paid for it.
Let me ask you this then. Let's say someone's watching this right now. They got a little bit of money and they want to be earning 10K a month somewhat passively through this car through a car rental model, right? They might not be here in Miami. They might be out in the middle of nowhere, fucking Indiana. Who knows, right? What would you? How should they go about, like, kind of step by step? What should they do? What car do you think they should get? What should they do with the car, etc.? How can they get themselves from going, 0 to 10K a month passively with the side business?
For sure. So if you're in like a city like Indiana,
Yeah.
And you're not quite sure what cars are going to do well there, and you
Yeah.
don't want to just like take a
It's a
YOLO
seasonal
guess.
place. It gets
Seasonal place.
Yeah. State of
Honestly,
Indiana.
go on Turo,
Turo.
see what cars have the most trips, see what cars have the highest reviews
In your zip code.
in your zip code, and kind of base off, what cars do well off of that. You can even
Okay.
search up private rental companies, but like a city like Indiana probably won't have many, or
Mhm.
if any, private exotic car rental companies.
Probably not.
No, but it's always good to do your research. So to kind of figure out our pricing, we kind of we went over through every single exotic car rental company down here in Miami. We looked at all their pricing and we took the average. And then
Okay.
from there, we kind of just like,
So look at the market first,
exactly.
and then procure cars that are doing well in your area. And I know you
Exactly.
gave some like a Tahoe, Suburbans, etc. Pretty safe. Color? Black?
Black.
Black is nice and safe, right?
Yeah, for those cars, black. But for the exotics, flashy always.
Okay. Put them on Turo first. Start renting out. Get yourself, I guess, situated on there. Make some money, and then once you said 2 to 3 or above, start weaning it off and doing it
Exactly.
privately, right?
And what these guys will find too is, you know, every car you kind of get goes up in value, up in value. Very rarely you're ever going to get more cars that are kind of going below value, right? So for us, we started 2 BMWs, we got a Corvette, we got an Escalade, then we got a Maybach SUV, we got a Bentley, a Urus, and then boom, it just started, you know, Huracans, Ferrari F8s, Cullinans.
Start small.
Start small, yeah. Everybody gets super excited as well, right? They're like, oh, I want to get a Lambo right away. I want to rent that. I want to drive it for free. You got to understand the game first. So start small. Don't break the bank. Don't put yourself in a high stress situation by getting a car that you might not be able to afford for more than 6 months. Get a car that you're very comfortable with. If that car sits for 3 months, be comfortable with that payment. Pretend like you're not renting it out.
Okay.
And then from there, you know, just
That's a good tip.
yeah, just because you got to build experience, right? You got to build business experience.
Don't be relying upon that vehicle to make you money immediately.
Exactly. So we didn't touch those high-end cars, those high payment cars until we really knew what we were doing. You know, brokers were sending us a lot of clients. We really knew that we were going to be good with the insurance. And then we felt comfortable. Okay, let's go get a Urus. Let's go get this.
Okay. Shit. All right. You guys are getting a masterclass, man, in how to go ahead and start a rental car business. Omar goes, Fresh, you got it? He's asking you, I think, this question. I could read it, though. Fresh, can you explain why you shouldn't buy a new car? Because where are we at here? Because I want to get a 2023 or a 24 manual Supra, since they come in manual, but you say not to buy it new. So should I just buy one that's already used instead of a new? Got a credit score of 745 from you guys.
So good job on a credit score. We kind of covered it earlier, but just to make it more apparent here, whenever you buy a new car from a dealership, bro, the moment you drive it off the lot, you're losing value. So that alone should tell you not to do it. But secondly, bro, the same car you're going to buy it new, someone already has it, doesn't want it anymore. You're saving money on depreciation, and it's the same car.
Will people want to even rent Supras to give him an option, I guess? Is that a car that's
to be honest, a manual Supra, you should keep that for yourself, personal use. Renting it out is not a good idea. Yeah, that's not. That's a personal car you should drive.
100%.
Well,
No.
Because it's manual?
It's more collector. It is manual, but it's also like
Very niche.
Supra is like, if you're a car guy, you know what it is.
Yeah,
The
facts.
average person's like, what is this?
Yeah, tuner car type dudes.
Yeah.
Need for speed ass
Like,
niggas.
you know,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tokyo Drift type dudes.
Exactly.
JDM, that type of vibe.
Like a car that I would love to get for the fleet would be a 911 GT3 RS.
Ooh.
That car is so sick.
It's badass.
But it's not going to rent. It's so niche. You got to be a car guy
To know.
Yeah.
to want to drive a car like that.
And car guys aren't going to rent cars, right?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
If they rent the cars because they're not home and they're in a different state and they want to just drive the same car.
Yeah.
But other than that, they don't. It's not really.
I've had a few guys come and rent because they wanted to test drive the car
Before
for a
they
few
buy
days.
it.
Because a lot of the times, right, if you go test drive a car at the dealership, you're only driving around the block. It's so hard to know if that's a car that you like.
Yeah.
So they'll come, they'll rent a car for 3 days, they'll really figure out if they enjoy the car, and then they'll go and buy that car. So I've had a lot of guys actually do that
Here's
with
a
cars
quick
that I
tip I
have.
tell my guys in the CEO network. I tell them, listen, guys, you want a specific car, rent it first, drive it to your favorite spot, take it home, sleep on it, wake up in the morning, drive it again. You're going to experience the car for real. You go to a dealership, like you just said, drive it down the block.
Yeah.
You're not really feeling the car.
Like when you got your G-Wagon, right?
Yeah.
We drove to Cario in the G-Wagon
G-Wagon.
that we had in the fleet.
Yeah.
So Fresh drove it for a good hour and a little bit, and he really, said, this is a car I want to buy. I've been in it for long enough. I know this car drives really well. Instead of just going to Cario and driving around the block.
Yo, it's funny because I thought G-Wagon was like a girl car. I never wanted a G-Wagon in my life. But driving his G-Wagon, I'm like, bro, this shit's nice. And then I'll tell you this, man. The girl's favorite car is a G-Wagon.
Oh, yeah.
Forget a Lambo. Forget a Ferrari. Forget a Rolls Royce. G-Wagon, hands down, bro.
And you get the tax write-off,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is huge.
Because of the weight.
Part of that
So
car.
Tahoes, Escalades, all tax write-offs. So if these guys, anyone's making good money
Range
and
Rovers.
Yeah.
you want to rent out a car like that plus get the tax write-off, I mean, it's a double
whammy.
whammy right there.
Okay. So for him, you get it for yourself, get it used, and you won't be able to rent it out more than likely,
Yeah.
especially with the manual. Okay. Yo, Murci, what's good? Got a question for you. How have you/do you ever rent high horsepower American muscle cars like Hellcats, Camaros, Mustangs? I see a lot of renters rent those and make a lot of money doing so. How is your demand for cars like that? That's a good ass question.
It's a good
American muscle,
question.
what do you think?
Too high risk for me.
Okay.
Those Hellcats have 700, 800 horsepower, the rear-wheel drive.
Holy.
You put your foot down in that and it is, you're going sideways, right? Another thing is those cars are so easy to steal. The Hellcats are so
yeah.
easy to steal, the highest theft car in the United States. So those are cars I stay away from. I don't want to deal with that. It also attracts a lot of headache clients that just want to, right?
I know what that means.
You want to say it?
Hey, turns out
that just wanna
man. They're gonna steal your shit, man.
Just want to drive fast, bro.
I'll say it. Don't worry about it. I'll say it, man. Yeah, Hellcats and Trackhawks. Yeah, they try to bump that shit while they steal your shit.
No, for real, but
Yeah.
if it can make it's a high risk, high reward car.
Yeah.
Very sought after. People want to drive it.
I said it. Jada didn't say it.
There we
All
go.
right? I said it. You niggas gonna steal the Hellcats, man. That's why.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I will not be seen in a Hellcat. I don't know how Stinko does it. I can't do that shit, bro.
No, why not?
Nigga, that's some hot nigga shit, bro. What do you mean, bro? Yo, fuck that, bro. Mopar? Nah, hell no, bro.
No, that's
I gotta
not
be
it.
classy, man.
Okay, so those are cars that have high theft rates. You just not worth the risk, I guess.
Exactly, and just a lot of power too. So something could go wrong if somebody doesn't.
Can you charge quite a bit of money on them though? If someone did want to go and have this American muscle fleet?
Still not as much as obviously those exotics, but you could charge probably I could probably get maybe 400, 500 a day for a Hellcat,
Okay.
something like that, which is pretty good because your payment's still going to be like $1,300 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got here? Big things. This is an awesome live. I am actually going to start rentals, so this was clutch. This guy seems like a good dude. Myron and Fresh, you guys continuously knock it out the park. Again, I appreciate you, brothers.
We got
man,
you,
trying
bro.
to give you guys value, bro. Like, help you guys with, starting side businesses. Hell, with the tips that he gave y'all today, you guys could have a regular job.
Yeah.
You might have a car right now that you don't drive. You might have a fucking Jeep Compass or some shit like that on the
Put it
side
on
that you can
Turo.
easily rent
Exactly.
Put on
right now.
Turo.
Every
Right
car
now.
can be monetized.
Yeah.
Every single car.
So, and he's giving you guys some game, like, hey, put 2 trackers in it, put a kill switch in it, make sure that you have insurance on it, etc. Like all these things that like people wouldn't think to do, and
You
then
can turn a
put it
current
on an
liability
LLC.
into an asset just from
Right
one,
now.
one choice.
So some of you guys
Exactly.
right now watching this, a lot of you guys, they say the average American household has like 2 cars,
Yeah.
etc. Some of y'all have a car right now that you barely drive. Put on Turo, make some money, man.
Might as well.
Trevon, hey fellas, well this business model will work well in the DMV area, or will it work well? And you mentioned installing trackers and kill switches on the car. What companies in that area do you recommend perform these upgrades, and how would you vet them for quality work? So it will work in the DMV. Jaden talked about that. If you're in an area that's the climate changes, you're safer with, you said, Suburbans and
Yeah, just cars,
SUVs in
cars
general.
that aren't seasonal dependent. So like no Mustang convertibles, no C8s. Cars that, you can put some winter tires on and it's going to be good in the winter.
yeah. Our Mercedes M-Class, right? That's the SUV one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Or
There's the GLE is a good car.
GLE, yep.
That's a great car, cheap too.
Yep, if you want to be like luxury but also SUV. And then he said, will it work well? And then I don't know if you guys have a connect over in the DMV area that does this with the he's asking for with the kill switches and
Yeah, iTrack's not too far.
Oh, there's iTrack in that area?
I
In
believe.
DC?
Oh, in DC.
In the DMV area. So
Oh, got you.
DC, Maryland,
I mean,
Virginia.
you'd have to Google.
I'd have to look into it,
Yeah,
but I'm sure I could find
Yeah.
some companies out there that would perform good
Yeah.
work for sure.
Yeah. But
There's got to be one
I
or two.
think basically the takeaway is put 2 trackers in there and 1 kill switch is pretty much like golden.
For
because
sure.
if they because they're gonna try to find one tracker. If they do find it,
It's just bound to happen. And you kind of have to play that game. Even if it never happens, that's great. But you have to have that mindset that these things are going to happen eventually. It's not a matter of if but when. That's kind of how I look at things, right?
Yeah.
But like think about it. Airbnbs. It's not a matter of if but when. Tenant throws a massive party and damages the whole unit. These things just are
it just takes one idiot to fuck it up, and you'll
That's
thank God
it.
that you had it there in the first place.
exactly.
And I like the idea of 2 trackers. When I worked for the government back in the day, and we had crooks, and we'd follow them, we would put 2 trackers on.
Yep,
their shit
because they
too.
caught one and they think they're
Because they
good.
find one and they think they're good, but you'd have a second one on there.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
about
That's
you put-
exactly why
How
we
about you
put 2.
put 3 or 4?
Oh, then you're
That's-
good.
It's overkill.
yeah, it's overkill,
Overkill.
right
But
there.
hey, man, not getting away.
Nav goes, thoughts on car market? Would it be a good time to get into luxury/supercar or wait for personal use?
No, I think cars are pretty cheap right now. You can get some really nice cars for a pretty low price.
Yes.
I think right now is a great time to buy. Interest rates are coming down just a little bit too. So
Is the key to just not buy new?
don't buy new.
Yeah, don't mind you.
Don't buy new because you're just going to lose so much money driving that off the lot and racking up miles. I mean, you're talking like you put 3,000 miles in a brand new car, it's going down 20%, 15% versus a car that's already has a decent amount of miles but not enough to give it issues. I mean, you're not going to lose much money.
Let me ask you this, a little bit more of a nuanced question. Since dealerships are, desperate to get these fucking cars off the lot, right, and they just want to make a sale, would you be able to negotiate something where, look, I'm going to lease this car, but I plan to put it on Turo and I want this shit in the contract?
I wouldn't
Or
do
would
that.
or would they say fuck no?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
No
They
matter
think-
how desperate.
They think rentals are too high liability.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of these they just don't want to deal with the headaches that may come because they understand a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. This is how people get wiped out in the business. Okay, They think they're covered on insurance. They're not asking the right questions. They get into an accident. Boom, they're $50K out of pocket. And it wipes them out completely. It happens down here all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people start rental car companies every single year, and they
And they
only
fail.
last 1 year,
They fail.
if that, because they just can't. They fail. They don't know what they're doing. They deal with all these issues, and they're like, I'm out.
Is that the biggest fuck up? Like not validating that the person that they're renting to
100%.
has insurance?
100%.
Okay.
Also, you need like I want to say things in place, like systems, so you can track each thing that's happening because it's a fast-moving business, bro. You start with one car, get 2, 3, 4, gets too big. Before you know it, done.
Exactly.
I can see how I mean, with one car, I could already see how that would be time consuming.
Yeah.
With one car, maintaining it, getting it to that person, getting it back.
You need a staff. You need a team. You need a lot.
What car insurance do you recommend? This is from Daniel.
So personal doesn't really matter, kind of what I said before. I use State Farm for my cars. I like State Farm for my personal insurance. But insurances that I look for when it comes to rentals, really good insurances for rentals.
That the person's gonna have.
Yeah, Geico's good, State Farm. I don't like Progressive. Progressive is the only company that only covers the value of the vehicle on policy. So if somebody's trying to rent a Urus and they only have a Ford Explorer,
Oh.
they're only covered $20K.
Oh
And
shit.
people don't know that. If you talk to an agent, they're gonna say they're covered, but they won't tell you that. And now you're out of pocket if something happens because it's on their policy.
Damn.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
that's the other importance of knowing what the fuck they drive too, right?
Yep. And a lot
Okay.
of the times, like these agents, they'll just say yes and they don't even know what the hell they're saying yes to. Like
Yeah.
they're not like trained well when it comes to the rental side of the insurance. So you always got to ask the right questions. You got to ask them like a couple times
That's
over.
a gem right there. So for the people that you want, so when your person's renting a car, Progressive, be wary that
Be wary.
it's going to be based on what the person drives, not what your car that you're renting them is.
Yep. And another piece
Oh,
of free game is record the calls. We record every single call. So the first thing
Y'all
we
call insurance. Y'all
Yep.
call them and verify.
Yep. So
Okay.
we say, hey, we're calling from a recorded line, calling from Murci Luxury Car Rentals, and right then and there, the minute you say you're calling from a recorded line, if something happens and they don't want to cover you, you have that recorded line. The agent said they were covered. You asked the right questions. You are winning that 10 times out of 10.
Wow.
Yep.
And I can imagine you give that to your lawyer that's on retainer that's
Well, it's
fighting
a
this
wrap.
for you.
Oh,
Here you go.
Big ass smile on their
Fucking
face.
insurance. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, here's the fucking phone call where they said that it's covered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Case closed.
But if you don't say we're calling from a recorded line, you can't use it in court.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Especially if you're like in Florida, which I think Florida is a one party consent state. So you
Yep.
have to tell them that. King of NC, hey Myron, I'm 22, 780 credit score, and about 50K saved in my first job out of college. Any tips for getting started in real estate? You're gonna need more money than 15K, bro. Depending on where you live, it's housing prices have definitely went up. But like I said before, you can go ahead and get yourself an FHA loan, but you're gonna want more than 15K depending on what market you're in. Jill, this is straight facts, Murci. I got a Hellcat and I always make sure it's a garage kept all the time at all times at home, parked next to the window of any establishment I go to, and keep Betsy on my waist in my cup holder. If shit were to ever hit the fan, stay protected. Damn, bro, it's like that.
Yeah, bro.
It's like that with Hellcats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I did see some videos on YouTube saying that like people like breaking into fucking Dodge dealerships stealing these things, but I thought it was like maybe just a fad for a month or
They're
some shit.
highly sought after.
But they're just so easy to steal. You can steal that car with a USB plug-in.
Yeah.
Like you take all, like it's just so easy to steal that car. 5 seconds. Somebody knows what they're doing. 5 seconds, that car is gone. That's the issue. I don't know why.
But like, what? Like, how long can you last with a stolen car though? It's like in my head, I'm like, what are you doing? Are you going to take it to a chop shop for parts?
Oh,
or
take it to the shop, change the color.
So the minute the VIN gets swapped, you are done.
Yeah.
Because that VIN
Okay.
is gone. There's no way they can correlate that car with what that car was because it has a whole new VIN.
Okay.
So they'll take a VIN from a salvaged Hellcat.
Okay.
They'll throw it on there for $100. Boom, it's a brand new car.
Okay. So that's what they're doing. They're switching the VINs out. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if like they were taking parts of it because it's a powerful car or whatever, but
I'm sure they do that too, part it out.
okay.
But a lot of these brand new cars, yeah, they do VIN swaps. I came across a TikTok page, just stolen cars, and they're selling Hellcats, brand new Hellcats, stolen,
Damn.
$8,000 cash,
Wow.
$10,000 cash.
Damn.
This
Can't
one,
buy that one on a credit card, I guess.
yeah, one guy on that page.
I wouldn't buy it though.
No, they had you run such a high risk. I mean, on that page they had a 2-for-1 deal, S580 Maybach and like
Yo, what the
a
fuck,
Trackhawk for like $15K.
Yeah.
Yo.
You'll get arrested, bro.
And these are
Oh.
probably all stolen from car rental companies.
Yep. So you want to hear a little story? I don't know if this happened in the building. I don't know if you guys saw this. There was a guy. I'm not going to name him, but he lived in the building. Does car rentals. He has about 7 cars.
Yeah.
He bought a G-Wagon for like 80 grand. He told me. I said, bro, you bought it for 80 grand. That car is stolen. He's like, nah, bro, got such a good deal. The next day, he gets raided by like 10 cops, thrown in jail for the weekend because that car was stolen and they were watching it.
Yeah.
They were watching. He had no idea it was stolen. Keep in mind. He bought it
Did he
from
bought it cash or some shit?
Yeah. And the cops
He had a
just
good
came
deal.
in. Yeah.
Wink, wink.
He got evicted because of that. He doesn't live in the building anymore.
Yo, what the fuck?
Yep. So
Wait.
you got to be so careful.
I know him.
You know him.
Oh, he was talking shit about us.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know it is.
Yo, what the fuck? Like, I don't even care who's talking shit. Like, yo, he bought it for $80K and
80K brand new G-Wagon. That car brand new
Come
was
on,
like
bro.
$200K minimum.
wow.
That's a finesse right
he
there,
didn't see,
bro.
he didn't see like there was. He didn't think like red flag. Red
Like a
flag.
cheap price, he don't care. Yeah.
He's not the brightest guy in the world, too.
I guess
so
not. God damn,
he was willing
bro.
to take that risk. He was probably like, you
And
know
he
what?
bought it cash. So what? I guess what saved him was that he probably had like a receipt of the transaction. He paid $80K for it, and like he didn't steal it.
Exactly. But he was stupid because he immediately called one of the big dealerships out here and said, hey, I have this G-Wagon. Do you guys want it for like 130?
Oh,
And
he
they're-
bought it and tried to turn around and sell it.
Yes.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
So he had it for rent, but he was trying to make a quick 50.
Yo, welcome to Miami, bro.
Yeah, man.
God damn,
It's tough,
man.
bro.
Holy. Yeah, so I guess that's another game, more game for these people. If the deal sounds too good,
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
There's exactly.
50% off or some shit like
I'd
that.
rather
Don't
pay
do
a
it.
premium for a car than get at a really good deal where like it's almost like, wait, why is it so low?
How could someone figure out if it's stolen so they don't run into a situation like that? Is there anything that they can do?
Run the VIN. See what that VIN's coming back to.
Carfax too.
Carfax.
Okay.
Really know who you're buying that car from. If you're buying the car from a dealer, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
That's why we
you know-
promote Carrier Motors. Like we know the owner. He's very honest, a lot of integrity. He has multiple cars, and they're all checked. So by default, you go there, you're gonna get a really
So
good
buy
car.
it from a reputed person. Don't buy fucking cars from randos.
Nah.
Exactly.
Private sales, as much as you might save some money, but if you want to build a business on this shit, it's not
Because
worth it.
guess
not
what?
worth it.
When things go wrong, guess where I'm going back to? The dealership.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you buy a shady car,
From
and you-
somebody on the street, nigga,
Yeah.
they're gone.
they're gone. That's
They got
what
their money.
they're gone.
They're in Idaho chilling.
That's for the audience here. You want to start? Yeah. All right, that makes sense. Buy it. You might pay a little bit more.
Shout out to Carrier Motors, by the way.
Yeah,
That's my
okay.
people over there.
Jacob.
Jacob, shout out to you.
Okay. What else do we got here? He was talking about the. Okay, what's up, fellas? Murci, do investors and car owners put their cars under the LLC? If so, how do they keep their ties with their cars? I think he answered this earlier.
Yeah.
So they put the cars under their own LLCs. We just have a management contract with them. So Murci has a management contract with their LLC that has the car.
Ah. Okay.
Yes.
Even better. Okay.
Yep.
What else do we got here? Hey, what's your average car that constantly rents? Average amount of days, weeks, months it rents for an average revenue it brings in.
So for us right now, the Ferrari F8 is crushing it. We rent that car for about $1,500 a day. It does like 15, 20 days a month.
That's crazy, bro.
It is printing. And we've had a lot of celebrities in that car. T Grizzly just rented it
Okay.
for the weekend.
Shout out to him.
Peso Pluma. He had it for 8 days, sent us a wire.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a lot of big guys in that car. But usually the Cullinans and the Urises are always the top.
That
You know,
makes sense.
we have Cully out right now. It's been out for like
Ferraris
6 days.
are very like particular.
Yes,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. You got to be a Ferrari guy to do it.
exactly.
Do you guys plan on expanding to other cities for future investors if, let's say, you guys no longer are taking investors due to having a huge fleet already? If so, what clients do you see the business expanding to? Or what cities? I'm sorry. So they're asking expanding.
So
We made a trip to Atlanta. Tell them about that.
yeah, so we went down to Atlanta, and we have a partnership in the works with a huge dealership out there. They
Okay.
have insane cars. They're really interested in the rental side as well. So we're working on that currently.
Okay.
But right now, we're really trying to just cement ourselves in Miami because it is the #1 city in the world for exotic car rentals.
Yeah, of course.
We're trying to really just make sure we're #1 here and have everything automated, have everything going well at all
Before
times.
you expand to another city.
Exactly, because then it's just going to be plug and play,
Yeah.
right? It's going to be very easy for us to expand. But right now, honestly,
Would Atlanta be as big with the exotic cars? Or
not the clientele's not going to be that good,
okay.
but
yeah, well, we know that.
it's going to be a hard clientele.
I think
just
next
how
to
people
Miami,
move.
people that want to flash, they're in Atlanta. I think so.
Yeah, but they come here visiting, so it's kind of already been screened.
So when we went down there,
Hmm?
the dealer that we have this partnership with, they said they think most of the clientele that we're going to get are going to be locals, just people that want to take a car for the weekend,
Yeah.
Okay.
etc. Because he said there's not a lot of people coming into Atlanta looking to spend a lot of money like
Facts.
that, like Miami,
Facts.
right?
Yeah.
So even it's just any local clientele that you're dealing with is going to cause more headaches.
Okay. So
That's
that's what
just rule
kind of
of
has
thumb.
you. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you guys? Okay. Fresh. in one shade of black away from becoming the Mad Titan of the RP.
So you're funny, bro.
Okay. It's one shade black away. Okay. Okay. How much money should you have to start a luxury car dealership rental service? And would it be smart to have them both together or just do rentals instead of actually selling them too?
I think it's a really smart idea to do both because you could rent out the cars that are sitting for a long time that aren't getting a lot of demand. You know, and I think a lot of these dealerships aren't doing that.
Okay.
Which I think is a huge plus. So if you're looking to start a dealership and a rental car company, there's no problem doing both at the same time.
Okay.
Because we do actually sell a lot of the cars that we have in the fleet. Sometimes people will rent from us. Bro, I love this car. Can I buy it?
Yeah.
One of my boys in the building bought our Range Rover. Rented for the weekend. He said, bro, I love this car. Wired $60K for the down payment. Took over the payments.
Yeah.
Wow.
Made like 25 grand just like that.
Okay.
Could you tell them Jaden about exotic fleet formula?
Yeah. So right now, because we have so many cars in the fleet, I'm actually trying to offload a lot of the cars that we have.
Okay.
So my goal with Murci is I want this to be like a 10 to 12 ultra high, like exotic niche car rental company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like just
So
crazy,
you want to have a
crazy
smaller
cars.
fleet, charge more,
Exactly.
simpler maintenance.
Exactly.
Okay.
So one of the goals and one of the things we're working on right now, we actually have quite a few students, is we're teaching people the exotic car rental game. Those that are interested, either even to make an extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. You know, we have those guys, and we have guys that want to build a 20-car fleet. This business is perfect for both of those demographics. You know, but we're teaching people how to build their own exotic car rental company, and we're actually going to give people that are local the cars that we have, the lower end cars that we don't really move that much. We're just going to start offloading them to our students who are doing a really good job when it comes to, you know, the insurance verifications, the marketing, guys that we feel confident in. We have no problem just giving them cars that we already have. So we're actually going to get a lot of these guys their first vehicles that are in our program.
Which
Nice.
is insane.
And
Once
that
they're
Aston Martin
qualified-
that you guys are giving away, someone could start a car rental business with that.
Exactly.
Actually, That's the play.
How much do you think like someone can look to make with an Aston Martin like that? I mean, they're not paying any money; they're getting it for free.
For
How
free.
We
much
have a
do you
guy
think?
right now
600 a day.
making a lot of money.
Yep.
Really?
One of our students, yeah.
You could charge $600 a day for that thing.
Mhm.
Yep. And payments like what? 2K?
1,800, 1,700.
Yeah.
And that was when the Aston Martin was like 120,000. So now,
Even cheaper.
yeah, I think our student who has the Aston Martin, he's paying
So
probably
it's straight
1,300.
profit. And these are
Straight
Miami
profit.
prices. Like they could charge that. Would that be like what they charge in Miami versus let's say they're in fucking, I don't know, Las Vegas. Maybe they might charge 500.
You know
I
the
don't
best
know
part?
Probably around there,
So
500.
Miami 600. Other places you could charge a little bit less.
I'd say minimum 400. I can't
Minimum
see.
400?
I can't
Okay.
see going
But the
below.
best part is you don't have to be in Miami. You could be anywhere. You could be in New York.
Yeah,
Vegas.
of course, of
Rent
course.
it here.
Yeah, because whoever's gonna win this probably won't be here anyway. They'll
Yeah.
probably be somewhere else. But like I'll just so bare minimum 400, but on the low end 400, high end 600. a day.
Exactly.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, and
And they
it's
get it for free.
Yeah.
it's a business that changed my life. Not even the money, like the networking. The
Yeah.
networking is insane. And I'm no one special, right? I'm from Canada. I moved down here, just wanted a different life. I wanted to live under the sun all year round.
Yeah.
Decided to start this company, and it just opened so many doors for me. So I'm trying to give that back to guys that are looking to get started, because this is something I didn't share, but I was on tour for 6 months.
Mhm.
What really changed the game for me is I actually hired a mentor for $15,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a guy who came to me, yo, I'm looking to sell my exotic car rental company. I didn't really want to purchase his brand.
Was it the guy that had that issue with that? Was the guy that escaped the drunk driving thing? That was your mentor?
No.
No. Okay.
So that was just one of my buddies.
Oh, okay.
This guy also had a huge fleet though.
Okay.
15 cars at his peak. He actually owned all of his cars. He was making like $200K a month.
Okay.
And he's in private equity real estate now.
Okay.
So he's just kind of shifting his focus to doing this for so long.
Yeah.
I hired him as a mentor for 15K. And I remember him telling me, he's like, you'll probably make your money back within 3-4 months. I made that 15K back within 2 weeks.
Nice.
Just
Off the things he told you.
yeah.
What would you say? Because I see that you're like real big on downsizing, whatever. What would you say is like the optimal number for maybe a beginner, an intermediate, and then an advanced guy as far as like having a fleet size? Because so many people like to flex. I got a 30-car fleet, 50-car fleet, etc. But that's got to be tough to manage. Well, and I see that you're trying to downsize. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think is the best number based on people's experience? levels?
Quality.
Yeah,
of cars.
quality of cars. So like 10 to 15, you know,
Okay,
you really got to
max,
understand. Yeah,
max.
because your clientele is going to change. I was renting these like BMWs, the Mercedes a lot, like these lower end cars. And that's
Yeah.
kind of what I was specialized in. People that didn't want to pay for a Huracan would come and rent an M5 from me.
Ah.
Now it's completely shifted. So my clientele is only ultra high end. They want Cullinans, they want Huracans, they want Ferraris. I don't move the lower tier cars nearly as much. So for me, I have no problem giving somebody who wants to get started a C63. Boom, I know they're going to like market that car every single day. They're going to get that car at a lot more than me just because my clientele isn't that kind of clientele.
Yep.
But when you're first starting, your clientele is always that kind of clientele.
Yeah, of
and then
course.
when you build a brand and credibility, then people will they'll feel comfortable spending $1,500 with you
Yeah.
and putting a $2,000 deposit down because they know they're going to get that back if the car comes back straight.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So I think 10 to 15, but quality over anything. Don't get cars that you think they're going to move and they don't end up moving. Like, really be sure about the cars you're getting and really do your research before. Do not be stuck holding a car that's not going to move.
Yep.
Because that is the worst thing ever.
Beginner, maybe 2 to 3.
2 to 3 is perfect.
Do you think they can earn maybe 5 to 10K a month on that?
100%.
Okay.
There's a problem where people.
There you go, motherfuckers. I don't want to hear no goddamn excuses.
There's a problem where people like buy a car that they like, but it doesn't move. So
Hey.
like I might like a car.
The GTR example. There you go.
Well, that was Supra.
Or the Supra.
Supra, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. excuse me.
Exactly.
Supra, yeah.
If you buy a car like that you like because you like cars, that doesn't mean he likes cars. So it's gonna be like,
Yeah,
yo, bro, that's
exactly.
cool and all, but nigga, I want a Lambo.
Exactly. So what I would do in that situation is I would get 2 cars that I know for sure are going to rent all the time.
Yeah.
And take the revenue from those cars and get a car that you want,
Boom, simple.
right? Allow 1 to 2 cars to pay for your personal car.
So,
You know,
know,
I
there's
heard
a
from a lot of
liability.
people because we brought Detroit Mogul on and Pushman Mitch, and they
Yeah.
said the same exact thing. Mercedes C classes move well,
Mhm.
and then Jeep Compasses, surprisingly,
yeah, Jeeps too.
no, not Jeep Compasses, Jeep Liberties, they go really well.
So those are 7-seaters, I think, right?
Yeah, damn it.
I mean, we
it's
don't
like
really
5 or
we don't
6.
really rent those type of cars.
Yeah, of course.
but
You guys are higher end, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, for the average Joe trying to start up, right? Like, some of these guys right now might have a Jeep Liberty that they have, and they don't realize that they could probably
more
rent.
of a girl car though.
A little bit.
But
Yeah.
hey, man,
But I'm sure it does well.
According to C class, is a girl car too.
You know what car does super well down here?
Every nurse has one of those.
Yeah.
The Mercedes C class. Tell me I'm not lying.
Strippers.
Come on, man. A white one, yeah.
It's the-
Strippers
it's the-
have it too.
The
Strippers.
CLAs. They
Yeah.
all have CLAs.
Yeah, CLAs.
CLAs.
Yeah.
Every girl, if they drive a Mercedes, I'm like, is it a CLA? Yep.
Yeah.
No surprise.
Almost always, bro.
Always. But the
Sorry, you were saying?
Porsche Macan,
Mm.
that is, so I know somebody down here, he has a Porsche Macan. He hasn't seen that car for 3 months. Payments like $500 a month. He rents it for $80 a day on Turo and privately for like $120 and just prints. And it's a Porsche. Beautiful car. They're like worth 30 grand, 40 grand now. You know, you get a 2018 Macan, bulletproof car because it's German engineering. You're not going to find many
Would
issues
Boxster
with it.
do well, you think?
Sorry?
A Porsche Boxster? Would
No.
that do well? No.
Too niche.
If you want to look at it from a customer standpoint, imagine I don't want a car payment. I rent the car for $80 a day. You do that over 30 days, not that much money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a W for the customer and the person renting too.
Yeah.
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 And
No,
it's-
I mean, this is really good stuff, man, because literally there's people watching this right fucking now that I know y'all have a car that's sitting around that
Yeah.
you can probably make some money on, that you barely drive or you don't drive that much.
I mean, look, this year we're making money. We decided this year and everything. Business, other businesses, we're making money. So listen, cars turn into business. Why not?
And it's perfect because a lot of people have a passion when it comes to cars.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people want to drive these higher end cars and they can't afford it. So like kind of like we stated before, it's just such an easy way to get these cars for free, leverage it to your advantage, network with them, make money with them.
And I bought cars in the past, and I wanted cars earlier when I was like broke, but I didn't understand all the concepts between finance and all that stuff. And then I figured out after learning from people, I could rent the car out. It'll pay for itself. It's like, wow, like you can't beat that. So
Exactly.
Dat boy says, I currently have a Turo business in NYC. Could you recommend a few more luxury cars that might rent well in this market?
So NYC, the roads are terrible,
Yeah.
seasonal.
for real.
So I would stick to like, if I was building a luxury car company in NYC, my first cars would be like an S580 Maybach, a GLS 600 Maybach, and I would get Escalade. I'd probably get 2 Escalades,
Mm.
and I would get 1 nice sports car, but I don't think I'd get a Huracan. I'd probably get like a C8, something like that, a little bit lower end, that's still a sporty car.
Yeah.
Those cars you are printing, like guaranteed.
Awesome. Trayvon goes, hey fellas, recommendations on creating and maintaining storage systems for your cars, and what is a good set of questions to ask when procuring insurance for the cars? You did say you don't need full coverage for the vehicle when renting them out.
So you need the renter needs full coverage.
Yeah.
Your personal insurance doesn't need full coverage. It really all depends on what the client has. Your insurance at the end of the day doesn't matter too much because your insurance isn't the one getting hit if something happens. You know.
Yeah.
So.
All right, boom. We
Yeah,
got
if you're-
here. You guys are asking some really good questions, by the way, man. How do I go about finding a place to store vehicles when they are not rented?
So depending on how many cars you have, obviously, if you have a couple cars and maybe you have a couple, if you live in an apartment, you have a couple spots, you can purchase more. Do that. You're going to save a lot of money. If you live in a house, keep a couple in the driveway, in the garage, if you're not in a, a high crime area. But
Should you have renters come to your house to pick up the cars?
It's up to you, but I mean,
I personally wouldn't if it's a house.
Okay.
Yeah.
An apartment building, no risk, but a house, because you never know what could go wrong, right?
Yeah,
If you have
for
to
sure.
take a client's deposit for any reason, even if they know they're in the wrong, they will give you a hard time,
Yeah.
right?
You're
And
right.
if you don't want them to know where you live,
Yeah.
depending on because you never know what could happen. Just be safe at all times. Don't
Yeah.
take any risks.
Put it in
I
a
would
neutral
say
location, maybe.
meet somebody at a Publix or, for example, a Walmart parking
Mhm.
lot. Meet them there.
Exactly.
Okay. Give
Yeah.
them the car over there, or should you just leave it, drop it off, and then leave?
You could do that too. Take it to the house.
Yep.
And then take it Uber back home.
Yep.
That's fine.
You could do that too.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. All right. Man, y'all getting a lot of fucking game right now, man. God damn.
I think we get
Uh,
too much sauce, bro.
I think so too.
For free, by the way. For
yeah,
free.
like
Free
all
sauce.
for free, man. For Murci, I'm 18, currently renting 3 Jeep Grand
There we
Cherokees
go.
on Turo with my father. Live in the northern Nevada area, and there is high need for 4-wheel drives. How do you recommend transitioning to private, and what cars do you recommend for this area? Also, any courses? So if I'm not mistaken, probably like the Reno, Nevada area. It gets kind of cold. It's seasonal as well.
Mm-hmm.
From a weather perspective, he's got 3 Jeeps right now doing pretty well. 4-wheel drive. It seems like that's what they want.
For sure. So to
Let's
transition off of Turo, kind of like what I said, what we did is start telling your clients, hey, look, I can rent these cars to you privately. I need you to have full rental coverage. But if you do, rent from me privately, we'll escape all the fees.
Yep.
Turo holds deposits for like a week. Say, I'll give you your deposit back within 24 hours.
Bam.
Boom. Instantly, you're providing more value. There's no reason why they shouldn't go to you privately.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So that's number one. Number two, car-wise, I think, yeah, those cars are great. You know, they're going to go out a lot. If you're looking to get into more of the luxury scene in Nevada, I would say, gets a little cold. You know, SUVs, you can never go wrong. SUVs, I would say Maybach SUV, because in Nevada, I'm sure Vegas isn't too far. If somebody
Yeah.
wants to go to Vegas for a weekend,
Mhm.
Maybach, it's nothing better, you know? So I think those cars would always do really
G-Wagon,
well.
maybe.
G-Wagon's a good car, and you
Yep.
get that right off.
And write that right off as well. It's a
Actually-
4-wheel drive, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think it's
G-Wagons?
What?
It is.
G-Wagon's a 4-wheel drive, yeah.
Oh, but no, nigga.
I think
Yeah.
it's.
When
That's a good question.
Because as a guy that comes from a cold area, 4-wheel drive is like you need that when you live in a snowy area. When you get black ice and all this other bullshit, you need a 4-wheel drive.
100%.
Florida,
Otherwise,
it don't matter.
tires just spin.
Yeah,
We just
yeah. Here,
Exactly.
yeah, 4-wheel drive. Who gives a fuck about that
Exactly.
shit down here? But like when you're in the Northeast and it's cold, yeah, you need that. That's why the Jeeps are doing so well up there.
Mhm.
That's what he's saying. And he said we want 4-wheel drive. Albo Ace, and is the ROI on this type of business worth it? Me and my brother have been very interested in starting something like this, especially since we are passionate about cars.
100%. For example, right? I'll give you an example of a car that we purchased. We got a Maybach SUV. We put $40,000 down. That was $170,000. Payment was about $3,300 a month with insurance. Okay.
Mhm.
We were renting that car for $600-700 a day. It was going out 15-20 days a month. We made that $40,000 back within 4 or 5 months. So we got our money out within 4 or 5 months. Car's paying for itself, risk free. Our money, you know, the money that we got tied up came out within 4 or 5 months. and
profit.
That's it.
How long should someone wait? Because that's a really good rubric there. How long should you think is a good timeline for getting back into getting black as far as like their original investment into procuring the vehicle?
For sure. So obviously credit's huge, right? If you can put least money down, you're gonna get that out a lot faster.
Yep.
But usually it takes, I say, 6 months.
6 months.
To be
okay.
safe, 6 months.
Okay.
You can get that money out.
And that's with all cars or just specifically with your cars? Because you're buying like high end stuff.
I would say with all cars, I think
With all
it's
of
kind of relatively the same, right? Like for example, a Huracan, you're putting maybe 60, 70 down,
Yeah.
but we rent that for $1,200 a day.
Okay.
So if you're doing even 15, 20 days a month, it doesn't take you that long to get that money out.
Okay.
And then you're completely risk free.
Okay. So 6 months is a good thing to shoot for.
Yep.
Like guys, don't freak out if you're not black. You know. before 6
Exactly. And
months.
something I say too is like, even with the monthly payment, if the car is just paying for the monthly payment, you have to remember that every time you make your monthly payment, you're paying into the equity of the car.
Yeah.
So if that car pays for itself for a whole year, let's say car payment is $4,000 a month, and it's only making $4,000 every single month. Well, that's $50,000 that you put into that car. That's pretty much free money. So
Look
now
at it
you
as a
you know?
renter when they rent from you for your mortgage. They're paying it down for you. Same
Exactly.
thing with renting for cars. They're paying on the actual price of the car for you.
It's a good
at the worst
comparison.
case scenario, you're not coming out of pocket for the
100%.
vehicle.
And the asset's paying for itself. So you're
Yeah.
owning more equity every single month
Yeah.
because somebody else is paying for that.
And the best part is when it's not rented, you drive it.
free.
Exactly.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah, every weekend if I'm going out, because I have so many cars now,
Mm-hmm.
you know, my investors are all such good relationships. All my investors are all making really good money.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just hit them up. Hey, I'm going to take the car out for, 5 miles going here. Take it. Don't even ask me.
Yeah.
Take the Ferrari out, to wherever. It's you pull up to events in these cars when they're not rented and all the eyes are on you. I hate to say it, but these cars, the attention that they bring.
Of course.
People want to know who you are when you pull up in a Ferrari.
Yeah.
They don't
Think
if you
about
pull
it.
up in an Uber, they're not looking at you the same way as a Ferrari.
Just to be transparent here as well, we met randomly at a valet because he's into cars, I'm into cars. So connected us. They'll be networking.
Yeah.
And now we're doing business together and it's huge. But again, it's like when you have these cars, you pull up to a spot, it isn't respect. Even girls, on some level, girls like it even better as well. So it's like,
First conversations for sure.
you got to have that let me say this. You're coming into the game with a asset that people say, okay, he's somebody. Let me see what he's about.
Yeah.
At least. So.
No, man. No, I mean, this has been a really I've been learning a bunch, taking notes and stuff like that. I think the audience is learning a lot. Like, this is fucking awesome stuff. Like, a lot of people, this is one of these businesses that, like, people want to start, but they kind of like, I don't know how to go about this. And they're, like, scared and shit. And you guys are answering a lot of the big questions that people have.
Dude, I've always wanted to do it myself, but I didn't have the system or know how to do it or the marketing. He has it down packed. So actually, tell him about the formula real quick. Bill's better real quick on the screen, the formula,
Okay.
and the marketing. And
Giving
then,
y'all
for
crazy
example,
value.
The marketing that we do.
yeah, for the formula.
So say that one more time.
Like, how do you market, for example, getting your stuff out there? I know you do the
Gotcha.
reels, TikToks.
So this is actually huge too. What I found a lot of these guys do and what we were doing at first is we're getting content around the cars, just getting videos of the cars, post them. That shit does not pop off on Instagram, on TikTok. The algorithm doesn't push that. The minute I started copying like viral content ideas, street interview style content, we would go up to random people on the street. If like to girls, we'd say, what car would you want to be picked up on a date? 5 girls said Lamborghini. We posted it. Boom. Went absolutely viral. Got like an insane amount of followers, engagement. So nowadays I kind of just copy like what's viral and I kind of base our content around that. And all you need for your page is you just want people to come to your page because they're gonna rent from you regardless, right? If they see your content go viral, they come to your page, they see you do exotic car rentals, they're going to remember you. So many people have recognized me from Murci.
Mhm.
Oh, you're Murci. I've seen you guys on Instagram. One of our students, he said he saw one of our reels go viral like 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And he was like, I knew you guys were the ones when you launched this because I saw your marketing work. I saw, from that reel, I followed you guys and I saw the growth. So just copy viral content. Don't get the content that you like, especially when it's around cars, because that shit doesn't work for some reason.
Yeah.
Even that really cinematic, like production style content with cars driving, the exhaust sounding loud. Yeah, it can, but it's so hard to get that to pop off.
Now, this isn't for everyone, but if you book a call with Jaden, you can qualify. And once you qualify, we'll move forward.
Yep, 100%.
As far as
cool.
like getting their car in with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Calling them, or even, for example, getting mentorship,
Okay.
coaching.
Yeah,
Cool.
no, for sure.
To work with him.
Just cool.
All right. What's up next here? Myron, how do I do a proper letdown? My forms always tire out first. Yeah, bro, go thumbless. That'll help you a lot. And then also focus on engaging your lats before you even pull. So what you're going to do is you're going to raise your arms like this. And what I want you to do is like retract your scat like that and then pull down. You're going to feel it way more in your back.
Yeah, look at Sneeko, man.
So
You
yeah.
saw Sneeko's rumble rant?
Thug Hellcat, L Fresh. Okay, I don't know what that means.
No, he's saying L me because I said Hellcats are for niggas.
So the Thug Hellcat.
Yeah. And then Ari goes, how should I start a Turo business in Toronto? Do I start with luxury sedans, SUV, or cheap cars? Any tips on operating a rental car business in Toronto? Well, you're from Canada. Vancouver, the other side. But
Vancouver, Toronto gets cold. Stick to the SUVs because if you want those cars out during the winter, I mean, those are the only cars that are really going to survive, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
people are always, I mean, the nice thing with the winter months is people aren't walking. They want you drive.
yeah.
They want to get picked up in an Uber. They want their own car. Whereas in the summer, people might be like, you know what? Beautiful weather. I'll go for a walk. I don't need an Uber. I don't need to rent a car. So just stick to the cars that are winter dependent. So the SUVs, the 7-seaters, those cars in a big city like Toronto are always going to do well.
Okay.
Always.
WJ'd, man.
Yeah.
So much value, bro.
Anything else? Are we caught up?
Oh, last question.
Oh,
That's-
and then that's Nico.
Last
All right,
one
go
for me, bro. Can someone actually drive an exotic car for free, in your opinion?
100%. It usually takes us, if they own these cars themselves, they're not getting investors, within 4 or 5 days, you're broken even on a Huracan. I mean, think about that for a second. You have 30 days out of the month. All you need is 4 days to break even. And these people are renting all the time. So many people want a Huracan. They want to drive a Huracan, but they can't afford one. So what are they going to do? They're going to rent one for the weekend. And people are like, oh, people aren't renting cars right now.
Is
the
that the
market
most popular
sucks.
luxury car? You would say that goes out the most?
Like sports cars wise, yeah.
That and the Ferrari, you said F8?
The F8. Like
Okay.
my Huracan just came back, or no, went out on a 1 day, has a 4-day reservation on Friday. It was on a 5-day last week. And I mean, I never see that car. The investor had to get another car because they never have that car either. So they went and bought a G-Wagon. And now the G-Wagon's out too. But I think that car is a great car. It moves a lot down here.
So, but you know what I hate, bro? I hate when guys rents a car, posts on Instagram like it's their car.
Mhm.
And I'm like, bro, we know who that car belongs to. It's our car.
100%.
Stop faking it, man.
That's
Anyhow.
funny. I saw. I don't know how I came across this guy's Instagram page, but I guess he was in Miami and he posted Fresh's car in the valet like it was his.
Yeah, bro. I'm like,
I sent it to Fresh. I said, bro, isn't that your car?
yeah,
He's
bro.
posted the SV
He
with the
posted
doors up.
SV. That's my car, nigga.
I laughed so hard. But to be fair, if
Yeah.
I was renting cars, I'd do the same thing. You know, if I'm in Miami for a weekend, I'm posting me pop and, you know, because what people do, right? Going to the club, getting bottles in a Lambo. I'd post all that flex stuff, you know.
Yeah,
that's what you got to do. If you're spending that kind of money, you got to
See,
take advantage.
I don't mind if you
Yeah.
posting it, but posting it like it's your car. Like,
Yes.
this is my car. I'm in mine. Look at me. I'm like, bro, come on, man.
100%.
That's whack.
Nah, it's clown. It's clown
Or put-
behavior.
you know what? Put in the bio is a rental. Then I respect you.
Yeah.
'Cause at least you're honest about it.
yeah, tag my
Yeah.
rental car company.
Yeah,
tag Murci. Give me
tag
some love.
Murci, man.
Come on.
Yeah, that's just
Come
funny.
on, bruv.
All right. That's it.
No, we got more chats.
got
Oh,
more chats?
okay. Blicky Sticks goes, I live in a small town. Is there any way I could still do this? Do I have to move to do this? I live about 2 hours from Seattle. Can I do this remotely? Maybe.
100%. See, now I'm at the point where I can start a company, any city, I don't have to be there. And these guys can do the same thing.
Mm.
Any city is going to work. Like any city that has people, that has a little bit of tourism, you know, is going to work. 100%.
2 hours from Seattle. So you
Which
can
is
set up your
perfect.
cars in Seattle, bro, if you want.
Exactly. Exactly.
They'll be hanging out with out the window yelling GLA,
Gra,
boom,
gra,
L investing
boom.
your money in nerd cards like Fresh.
He said, gra, gra, boom, basically being a...
Nigga, speak English, nigga.
Yeah, I don't
hood
know what
rat.
he's saying.
See, that's why you did the Hellcat.
He's basically being
Can't
a
speak
hood...
English at all, bro.
He's basically
Yeah.
being a
What's
hood
hoodie,
rat.
I live in a small town. Is
Oh, I
there
did this
any?
one, we did this
Oh no, we got that one. Baywoods goes. I live in Dallas and I buy cars off the auctions and flip them. This is opening my mind to keeping the cars and renting them. Love this information. We got
you, bro.
Baywoods.
And that's,
you know,
see, that guy's going to win because he's getting cars so cheap off the auction
Don't
that
matter.
he will
Yeah.
not lose on depreciation.
Boom.
That is straight cash flow for him.
yeah,
That's why you don't buy new
Good
cars.
idea. Yep.
yeah. So the goal is to get the car as cheap as you can. Hopefully not stolen, by the way, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yes.
go ahead, flip it, and start renting it out. That's
Cheap,
probably
but not
better than
cheap, cheap.
selling it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
better than selling it.
For sure.
Because it's cash flow you're creating for yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Consistent cash flow.
Yeah.
Ike A goes, heard what you guys said to the guy from Nevada. I currently fix up cars and sell them in the Dallas area. What cars do you think would be best to start with for a car rental business in this region? Did we say Nevada? Currently,
In
Dallas.
Dallas. Okay, Dallas.
That's a great city. It's a huge city. There's so much going on.
Probably do some exotics there.
For sure.
Yeah.
It gets cold as well.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to take that into consideration. All of those cities are gonna get cold. So my answer kind of remains the same. Those SUVs are always gonna do well.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think those sports cars will Dallas is a beautiful city in
You
the
could do a
summertime.
Corvette there probably pretty well.
Corvette would do really well, for sure. For sure, for
Convertible.
sure.
Yep.
Yep.
How's the maintenance on the exotics, and how do you know when to sell / swap them out? Around how many miles do they usually have before you sell them or stop renting them out? Good question, Albo.
Good question. So it depends on the exotics. Like Lamborghinis are bulletproof. I had a Huracan in the fleet, had 70,000 miles, and it drove like new, no issues at all. And then you have Ferraris, which is more problematic. You know, McLarens are the absolute worst car
Yeah, bro.
maintenance-wise.
I know from my experience, bro. McLaren's, bro.
Didn't it break down on you one time?
Bro, my first exotic car I bought. Actually, I did a vlog about it on my channel. I'm ready, bro. I spent years going to car shows, parking in the back of my Toyota Camry. I'm like, yes, I'm finally going to a car show. This is amazing. I pull up to Pines Boulevard, right next to the Hooters, right? Bro, the car breaks down. Dude, I am livid. I am
A girl
literally
that had been on the show
10
saw
mi-
him in there.
Yeah, 10 minutes
Mama
away
came out.
from the
Came
car
over.
show. I'm like, yeah, my first car show, my exotic car. I can't wait. Blue McLaren.
Yep.
Car breaks down. I'm like, what's going on here? Whatever. Luckily, when the girls from the show, forgot her name, came with some food for me, but it was terrible, bro. I spent hours there waiting for a tow truck. Yo, McLaren just suck ass, bro.
Yeah.
McLaren suck, man.
Suck.
Facts.
Terrible builds. Great cars, fun to drive. They
Yeah.
look great, but terrible builds. So a car like that's going to cost you a lot of maintenance.
You know what I kind of like put a like into? A hot chick that is high maintenance.
Yes.
She looks good, beautiful eye candy, but to maintain her, bro, can cost some money.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit, nigga.
Not worth it.
Not worth it,
It's
bro.
not worth it, bro.
Hell no.
No, especially when you're trying to like make money, because the last thing you want to do is have a car sit in the shop.
Yeah.
You know, so what I recommend is get a pre-inspection done on these cars. Bring in a mechanic to the dealer. Pay him
Always.
a couple $100 to look at cars with you, to take them for a test drive. Because I've had investors buy cars from dealerships right off the lot. Boom, engine lights on, 10K.
Damn.
So you got to be so careful.
And also,
Damn.
something that you do pretty well, Jaden, is you have a local mechanic that you guys work with for
Mhm.
any issues at all for the cars. So anything goes
Yeah.
wrong with the car, forget
That's somebody
dealership.
in house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
almost giving us his cost and everything because we give him so much business.
Yeah.
So an oil change on a Bentayga, we just did one. that would have cost us $1,500 at the dealership cost us like $300.
Okay. What else do you got here? That's it. One last one.
more?
Okay, last one right here.
Big things are going. Yeah, you good?
Okay. Yeah, this has motivated me to do this. So this, along with my trucking business, is going to be profitable, especially here in Huntsville. It's growing like crazy here. Okay.
Shout out to you.
Awesome.
Huntsville, Alabama. I'm sorry. So he said it's going like crazy out here. Cool. And then Devontae goes, can you start a rental car business with classical cars, and is it profitable?
Too difficult, too niche. Too
yeah.
niche.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's a little too niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, one more.
How have you ran ads to a landing page and get clients there? How was that? And do you recommend? I'm a guy that don't like to have his business depend on a platform.
So to be honest, most of our growth and our
Referrals.
yeah, we get a lot of word of mouth clients. We work with a lot of brokers, so we don't really spend money on ads when it comes to finding clients. We just get so many people sent our way.
And this is why, if you're a good business in the car space, people trust you and they respect you and they push you everywhere, because the business is kind of shady sometimes. So
And that's the good thing with
100%.
starting with Turo, building up that clientele, moving them private, and then getting word of mouth, and then
Exactly.
like
And you
they'll
get your
refer their
feet wet.
friends.
You'll gain that experience. So when
Yeah.
you do go private, you'll know how the insurance works. You'll know how everything works.
And for anyone saying this is a scam, I dare you to do your own business. I've stand for this long, have this many clients, and still be intact. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So
All right.
100%.
Cool. So, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that episode, man. This was fucking fantastic.
It
I
was.
think probably one of our most thorough episodes when it comes to how to start a rental car business.
masterclass.
Timestamps
Jaden,
will be in there.
where can they find you, bro?
So if you guys are interested, maybe you want mentorship or you're interested in mentorship, you want to ask more questions about the car rental game and how to get started, shoot me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram's at jcannonbloom. I'll respond to everybody that comes through. Just say you came from the stream. And, I'm really looking forward to getting you guys started if this is a company that you guys want to get your feet wet in.
Bam. Guys, hope you guys enjoyed that, man. Like the video, guys, on YouTube. Like it on Rumble as well. We'll be back in about 10:20 p.m.
Yep.
With some girls. We'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
I ran so far away.